Holy shit, boys. It's been fucking 2.5 weeks since I've been able to have this mic in front of my face. Welcome back to Real Men Talk Shit. I'm really bad at my job. We also have a completely new look. We don't have any sponsors this week because Toner's still being a bunch of assholes. But we do have Brandon fucking Buckingham on this week, who's had one of the largest fucking collaborations the past 2 weeks in a fucking row, and he's fucking killing it. I do have to say, Myth and Josh are not gone. Cowboy is a pinch hitter. Josh has voiceover shit that's going on. He might be here at some point. He said that he's going to try and come, but at some point he doesn't know when he's going to be here. So Cowboy is filling in. And Myth is in Colorado doing Colorado things, but I'm not going to say what Colorado things are because he's only 20. Children. So that's what happens. Myth, if you see this, join. You have the link. Brandon, how the fuck have you been? Cowboy, welcome. I know you're a stream favorite. You've been here numerous times. So how the fuck have you been?
Happy to be here.
I've been good, man. It's been a crazy year. I feel like I've definitely been getting lucky, and I'm just super happy and blessed right now. Just moved into a new house with 2 people. I just hired 2 full-time employees, and today's like the first day that we have everything set up. So it's an exciting time right now.
Hell yeah, that's awesome, man. I kind of saw like this last year for you documented as you were posting. I mean, you posted weekly. Are you still posting weekly? Have you maybe skipped a couple weeks, a month or 2 back?
So yeah, I posted every week for I think 82 weeks in a row without missing a single week, and then I hit 100K on that 80-second upload, and I went to Thailand, and then I think I've only uploaded like once every 2 weeks or once every 3 weeks this whole year because I've been trying to do
down a bit.
I've been trying to do bigger videos, you know what I mean? Videos where I don't just go film one day. It's like, for that Thailand video, that first Thailand video was like 2 weeks of us just like fucking around filming, and then that's I feel like that's why it became such a good video, because it wasn't like I had the pressure of posting every week. I had time to live my life and be inspired, and then it creates better videos, I feel like. But
yeah, made for better content.
Now that I have this team, sorry, Cowboy, you can go.
Oh, I was just going to say, I think that's kind of a part of what makes your videos so cool, is that it all does kind of seem natural. Like whenever you have that camera on, it seems more like y'all are out there documenting wherever you are documenting, or on the streets, wherever y'all are at, doing whatever you're doing, the skits or whatever it may be. But it's all like very natural. It's nice.
Yeah, I don't think I'm the best guy. I feel like sometimes I wear my emotions on my face. So I'm not always the best guy at being like that fake. So yeah, like if I'm not feeling good in a video, like you'd be able to tell for sure. So I definitely try to pick my moments and film when I'm feeling good, and give it that natural feel.
Hell yeah.
I wonder how that actually works algorithm wise and like content wise. If that makes it so way, not only can you produce more content because you're not like forcing it, it obviously increases the quality. But I wonder if that actually affects like algorithm searchability and stuff like that. Like with a podcast, I wonder if like you create like 3 episodes one week and you don't create one the week after, how that would actually affect search and kind of that stuff. Because like you see people like Rogan create 5 or 6 episodes in a week and then take like a month and a half off. It's just weird.
I think once you're established and you have like trust within your fan base, then you can take time off. But like, I think if I would have taken time off like 70 weeks in, when I was only at like 45,000 subscribers, I think I would have been people would forget about me much quicker. I think taking time off would have hurt me. You know what I mean? But
absolutely.
I took time off when I hit 100K, and I told my audience I was going to Thailand. So there was excitement building around what I was doing. I didn't just like leave on a low note. I left on a really high note. And I think that's why it was good. I think, if I had done it in a different manner, I think it kind of probably would have fucked my whole channel up, honestly.
Yeah, it's definitely has the ability to shoot you in the foot because you don't know exactly what's going to happen. There's no necessarily correlation to say, oh yeah, if I create all of this content and release it all at once using the Netflix model, that doesn't guarantee that they're coming back tomorrow. It just guarantees that they might watch the content you release. And whether they save it for that time that you're off or that time that you're creating more, who the hell knows if that's going to necessarily be correlated.
Yeah, so my mindset kind of changed from like the weekly uploads to like now I'm thinking like, how can I make a good video that's big? I'm thinking like big stuff. So it's helped me in that regard. But I think if I dropped a video next week that was kind of mid and then I took time off, I think it would really fuck me over. So I'm a bit anxious because I do want to keep the momentum going. But that's the internet game, you know.
Yeah.
You're
absolutely.
You're hot one minute, you're not the next. The real key I tell people is like, it's not about whether or not you're going to cool off from being hot. It's like if you can handle being cold or not. That's actually a De La Soul rhyme. But yeah, it's not about if you're going to do good the whole time. There's going to be those valleys. It's just about if you can continue and persist through those valleys, you know.
Yeah, exactly. No, I completely get that. And the inconsistencies of it makes it so complicated and convoluted to just like look at it in a sphere of who the hell knows what's going to happen next. You sat there and brought up Thailand a couple times, and those stories were absolutely insane. The videos that you made were some of the most beautiful things I've seen online. In my
Very, very
opinion.
entertaining shit.
Please stop sending foot pics and private messages. No, motherfucker. Pay for my OnlyFans. You want to see these potatoes? They've been really, really fucked up. I guarantee that in the grand scheme of things, if you paid me $10 to see my feet, you would love it every single second of it. Also, fuck you.
I was about to say there's not enough feet. That's what I was saying. We need some more toes in this show.
Yeah.
No, this
That'd be
is
a
on
Patreon
Twitch.
goal.
That's a great way to get banned really quick is to show your feet.
Really?
But yes, that's against TOS because it is considered sexual content.
But if I have Converses on, that's fine. Can I show the Converses?
Yes.
With some sick
It's
kicks.
showing socks and showing feet. Both of them can get you banned.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, that's yeah. I have no aspirations of being on Twitch because I think I would probably get shut down pretty quick.
Yeah, it's kind of a very touchy place. Like there's some things that like you think you wouldn't even be a big deal. You can't even say. I mean,
Yeah.
It also, some things depend on context too, which is really fucking
Mhm.
weird because then you're trying to make a living based off of the words you say, but some of the words you say might be taken out of context and shown to Twitch.
It's a lot of semantics, right? Because you could say hateful, mean stuff just in a nice way. You could wrap it in a nice packaging and it would fly. Or you could say something that isn't that mean, just in the wrong contextual manner, and it can get you fucked. So, yeah, it's a lot of semantics and just wordplay shit.
Oh, it really is. So, do we want to go into like YouTube stuff that we were talking about right before the show started? Do we want to start doing some prank phone calls, or do we want to watch the video that I have saved that is absolutely hilarious and probably be like 2 minutes worth of content?
Let's let Cowboy make that executive decision.
all right, I think we should probably start with the prank phone calls because the thing about it is a lot of these phone numbers that we have, they're all on the West Coast. We only have like an X amount of time before those businesses and establishments close, and I feel like they need to be fucked with before then. Then maybe move on to something else after that if you are cool with it.
I'm game, yeah. Whatever you guys think.
All right, let's do it, Brandon.
So obviously we'll let Brandon choose whether he wants to go first or he wants somebody else to go first.
Yeah, let's see you guys set the standard. I'd like to see you guys set the precedent of prank calls.
Oh, okay. So Cowboy, I got one for you.
Okay, all right. Let's hear it.
You're going to do your follow-up to the one that you did on stream. Obviously, not everybody here has seen your stream one, so feel free to just take some content from that one. But that is a nice little pet store that I dropped in the private chat. And feel free to go off, my friend. I gave you 5 minutes to get ready, and you're still looking for your phone.
No, I put my phone up, so I went grab it. We got Brendan Buckingham on the show this week. That's an important thing.
I'm small time, Cowboy. Don't get it mixed up.
So
All right.
to like make the show better, I wanted to do prank phone calls for the longest time on here and like see how it worked and see how we could interact and enjoy them. So I started doing them live on Twitch, and it was a fucking blast. One of the times we had like a full group video call going on behind the scenes that the stream could hear, but obviously the caller couldn't because they're not going to be able to hear us. It's just going into the mic, their audio. Cowboy is fucking fantastic.
All right, now I do need to know where this pet store is and what the name of it is.
It is just labeled as pet store, and it is in California.
Fair enough.
There you go. Are we ringing right now, Cowboy?
We're ringing them up.
What the fuck?
You have reached a number that has been disconnected.
Oh, come on, Zach.
0 for 1.
Oh, for
It's a
one.
pet store. Like, how the fuck, man? Here, call this sex toy store and have fun while I find another.
All right.
We're doing it live, boys. We're doing it live.
You gotta have some troubleshooting. But yeah, Zach,
exactly.
you brought up the Thailand videos. I have like 80% of the stuff I filmed in Thailand is still unreleased.
That's fucking insane because some of the doing 15 different things at the same time.
Yeah, people thought because I was in Thailand and I wasn't uploading, I was just like, living it up. Oh, he's doing X, Y, and Z. He's not grinding. I filmed every week I was in Thailand. You know what I mean? Every week.
Hours and hours and hours of content, I'm sure. Are
Yeah,
you going to release all of that? Do you have plans to release that or?
100%.
That was where I was going.
Yeah.
Fuck
we
yeah.
were really, me and Zulakami were like really like dead set on having a Muay Thai fight. So that was part of the reason that it was distracting me from editing is that we were like doing 2-a-day Muay Thai sessions. You know what I mean?
Word. Yeah.
So,
Did you feel like consolidating them into individual videos where you're like, this is what Thailand's like, and this is the Muay Thai stuff that me and Zillow were contemplating doing, and like trying to separate them so that way it was like what you enjoyed and then what you were doing as well, and kind of like flipping back and forth in between them, or were you like, this was week 1 and just showing everything?
No, it was so that first video was like just a compilation of like the first 2-3 weeks I was there, but everything else was like dedicated videos. Like I have a video exploring the red light districts of Thailand, or inside the red light districts of Thailand. I have Life as a Ladyboy in Thailand, where I interviewed 2 ladyboys. I have a day in the life training Muay Thai in Thailand. I have taking a single father out for the night of his life, where we took one of our Muay Thai coaches out on Valentine's Day and like got him drunk and bought him I got him my favorite escort, Bao. Shout out to Bao.
Hell yeah.
I have a video eating bugs with Thailand escorts. That's going to be a video. There's a lot of exciting stuff. So, and then like the stuff that I did in Chicago. I don't know if you saw it, Zach, but I went to O Block. I have 2 videos from inside O Block that were like fucking really hard to pull off.
No, I gotta watch those.
They're not out yet, but one of them is like sus rapping in O Block, where I went to O Block and was doing like homoerotic rap bars, showing them my homo street spirituals. And then I went back there because it's such an interesting, notorious block. I went back there and I did like a serious interview video about what it's like to grow up in O Block, where I interviewed kids, I interviewed teenagers, I interviewed adults. I got Ocho Mana on there. So yeah, there's a lot of exciting stuff. Then I went to a porn convention. I went to Exotica, and I dressed up like a cow. And the porn stars were like drinking milk out of my udder. I had like a syringe and cut a little hole in my udder and was like squirting milk everywhere. And then I did acting like I'm the man at a porn convention. I have like fucking 12, 15 videos in the vault. So I'm excited.
So when you release that cow video for the porn convention, you need to share it on the subreddit Hugh Cow, because everybody will fucking die laughing.
Okay, hell yeah. I didn't even know what that was, but I gotta get hit.
It is, they've talked about it on PK a couple times. It is a fetish where you dress up as a cow and become bred and you squirt milk out of your tits.
What? As you're getting bred?
So you have to be lactating. You have to be able to lactate.
That's crazy. I talked to one of the porn stars, like, had this fetish where she loved food being dumped on her. So she loved the milk thing. She loved having milk.
It's about it.
Hey, teach their own, whatever they're into.
Oh yeah.
To me, it's just funny either way.
Food was the most fucked up thing that, like, the first fucked up thing that I found online. It was some girl eating cereal out of another girl's ass.
Was it Fruit Loops?
Yes, it was Fruit Loops.
I wish I didn't know that. I've definitely seen that video. What a horrible thing. The porn, the amount of porn that, like, I feel like the average fucking middle-aged or like in their late 20s, the amount of porn we've consumed or the average person's consumed.
Oh, it's horrible.
It's terrible, bro.
It's so bad. Yeah.
Can I say vagina on Twitter?
You're good with every normal word except things like
the C word.
Oh yeah.
This,
private chat.
Oh shit.
Racy stuff, that kind of stuff.
What? That word?
Can't even, man.
Oh man, I gotta check my vernacular here. This is about to be a disaster.
It's process, bro.
Those aren't even bad words. Those aren't even bad words.
Some of them do depend on context, but it's also very, very hard for them to understand the context of a 2-hour-long podcast when they're looking at 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So like it depends sometimes, but it's just easier to not use them.
Yeah, makes sense. All right, I will watch my mouth. Are we ready for this this prank phone call?
I think I have it put in. I was gonna say, I think the first most bizarre thing I ever saw, one of my buddies showed me a pink sock, and immediately after showed me nugget porn. Are you familiar with either of those, Brandon?
No, my imagination's going wild. Pink sock. I'm imagining a prolapsed anus.
Yes, that is exactly what it is to the fullest extent. I mean, I'm talking thigh highs.
What a horrible, what a horrible thing. I wish I didn't know what the word prolapse meant, because since I've learned it has not served me
Any
well.
good? Yeah. No.
It's just a bad thing. Jesus.
I remember people sending people the gifts of Lemon Party and like these old people that had sex in the shower at like high school. And like they would make it your background because we had Macs, so the backgrounds were able to be like GIFs and videos and stuff like that. So when you signed in, it would just be whatever the fuck they decided to set it to. If you like walked away from your computer.
See, I wonder the state of like 13, 14, 15-year-olds, because when I was that age, people were showing me 2 Girls, 1 Cup. They were showing me BME Pain Olympics. I remember this one video, a guy jumped off a cliff and clipped his head on a dock, and his head exploded. The next scene was him in the hospital with his skull all fucked up. Like since I turned 16, I don't think anyone has bombarded me with disgusting videos like that. But as a young man, I remember people being like, "Hey, yo, check this out," and then on their phone is just like the most disturbing.
I actively try to forget about the BME Pain Olympics. I mean, actively all the time. That is such an awful thing. The Gauntlet wasn't as bad as some of the things I saw in the Pain Olympics.
The worst one that I've seen myself is One Man, One Jar.
Oh, no, dude. I've seen a man's cock cut straight in half, right down the fucking length, man. And they got like drills and shit, and they're in there, and they're getting off.
I didn't see that one.
Bro, if you ever watch the BME Pain Olympics, Zach, there's this one scene where a guy has like these fucking prongs in his dick hole, and it's like extending his dick hole. This dude like has a hatchet, like cuts off his balls and shit.
Yeah.
It is crazy.
Oh, I know like the story of it. That's the thing, is like I engrossed myself enough within the culture to understand what was going on and fuck with people with it. But I also never fucked up myself enough to watch them.
Smart man.
All right. I think I'm ready for this prank call.
Okay, go ahead. So like I made my wife watch 2 Girls, 1 Cup, but I've never seen all of 2 Girls, 1 Cup. You good?
Ringing?
Is it ringing? At least it's actually ringing.
Hi, yes. Do y'all have the DVDs?
I'm sorry, we don't sell any DVDs, magazines, or other kinds of media.
Oh. All right. Do y'all have any the lingerie up there? Novelties?
Well, we do sell lingerie. We sell Blue Bella, and we also sell box lingerie from Dream Girls. And
like for 5X.
Yeah, 5X. Y'all got any 5X in there?
5X? No, I'm sorry, we do.
No 5X sizes. Damn, old lady's not gonna be happy about that. She didn't fit anything else. But what about the novelties up there?
Underwear, like the Proline crotchless underwear.
Are those 5X?
Those are 1X, but they're mainly like a one size fits the most, and they're the ones that we carry and meant for.
Well, let me tell you, my old lady is not most. All right, that's the first thing. But, what about them toys and novelties? What y'all got? Y'all got the new vibrating auto blow 400?
Well, we sell like higher end like vibrating toys for men and women. We sell some Bluetooth activated toys as well.
The Bluetooth activated toys. Can I hook that up to my hearing aid? Hello.
I think you got hung up on. You asked her about hooking up to your hearing aid, and all of a sudden she's gone.
Yeah, she didn't appreciate that one.
No,
I wanted to ask for movies. I was gonna ask for like Butt Dusters 3, fucking The Last Ass, you know what I mean? Or like fucking, just ridiculous shit.
That place seems a little bit fat phobic. They don't have proper differentiation between sizes.
That is, isn't it? It's fucked up.
One size fits most. One size covers half crack.
One
That's what they
star.
should have said.
Yeah.
That's what the title should be. One size covers half crack.
Yeah. One size can fit one leg and cheek.
Dude, I really
I
wish I
want
could have
that
called
too.
that bariatric surgeon in Mexico because I was going to tell them that I'm anorexic and have bulimia and I need to experience having half my stomach stapled so that way I feel better about myself again.
Yeah, cut my shit open, please.
Because I want them to tell me I'm not fat. I think that would be hilarious.
That would be funny. So what's next on the prank call agenda?
Okay, so we have a Walmart, a Target, a car dealership that is in Compton, which I thought was hilarious to try and get a car with blacked out windows so that way you can fuck some fat bitches in there. Another dealership, and then the sex toy store that he just called.
Okay.
Would you like one? And do you need an idea or do you have one?
I can just try to fucking freeball it. If it's shitty, it's shitty, but I can try my best.
It is what it is, man.
All right, yeah.
Cowboy, you're cutting out.
Plethora.
Which one do you want?
Just drop one of them. Let me know what it is, and then I'll call them and see what we can do.
Okay. So we'll do the dealerships back to back. Just that way. You have one and I have one.
All right. Do you want to call this first one? Ford.
Yep, there you go.
I don't know what the fuck I'm going to say. We'll see, though.
Ford, get you an Escalade. Get you an Escalade and try to pimp it out. You need something to give you some cred out there if you're going to have
Thank you for calling Ford, Buick, GMC. If you know your party's extension, you may dial it at any time. For sales, press 1. Service, press 2.
Sales.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling Fine Motor Group. How may I assist you?
Hey, what's your name? Hello?
Jasmine?
Jasmine. I'm going to cut to the chase, Jasmine. I got a lot of ops in the area, and I need a car that's coated in Teflon. Do you guys have anything like that?
Oh, I'm sorry?
A car coated in Teflon for when the ops get to bussing my way.
Mm-hmm.
You have bulletproof stuff?
Just 1 second.
Just 1 second. Oh, they got me with the fucking waiting time. They're transferring
It
me?
was fast.
Transferring to the military section? Where's this again? Is this in Compton?
That one's just in California.
Okay.
Thank you for calling my car park. This is Steven. How may I help you?
Hey, Steven. I'm looking to get a car that has some bulletproof windows, maybe some blacked out shit going on. What do you guys have?
Oh, man. Let me get you one myself. Give me 1 second.
Okay, another transfer. Damn.
They are
Joey
fucking with
speaking.
you.
What? Hello?
It's Joey speaking.
Joey, how you doing, brother?
Pretty good.
Yeah, so I'm looking for a car that's going to offer me some protection. I got the ops rolling around. I'm kind of a hot shot. You guys have anything with blacked out windows, bulletproof shit?
Let me check.
Let me check.
That was a phone getting shut down. Absolutely. That phone got sat the fuck down.
You think so?
Yeah.
Damn.
The trade wall? We're checking on the trade wall, okay? Hang on.
Checking on what?
We call it trade wall. So sometimes we do, hold on, let me check what's it called. We do get trade-ins from the law enforcement.
Yeah, I need
They have a fleet
a
with us.
yeah, I need a cop car or something, dude. This shit is hot for me right now. You have any advice for me? Like I got people fucking showing up to my mom's house, shoving her around, threatening me. They're firing fucking bullets through my Prius. You know what I'm talking about?
Hang on. So there's one available, but it's not bulletproof.
It's not bulletproof. So I mean, what do you expect me to just ride around fucking vulnerable? I got a lot of people on my tail, Buster.
Hang on, let me see what else is available. We have several. I just have to make sure. I don't know. It doesn't tell me here in the system if they're bulletproof or not.
Well, I could come down there and fire off some rounds at your vehicles, see what can stand what. You know what I mean?
Check. Hang on. Just want to make sure because we have 3 different locations. I'll make sure it's at the right location. Hang on.
Yeah, you tell me the location. I'll pull up there and start fucking knocking people around.
Tell them you got more
Yeah,
money
no, it
than
looks
you've
like
ever had in your
none of them
life. A
have,
whole $500.
bulletproof. I just text the used car manager that none of them have bulletproof.
No bulletproof. Look, I just came across a large sum of money. I got damn near $500 in my bank account, and I'm looking to cause some damage. So we can either work something out over the phone, or I'm going to pull up there. Here
Okay.
in
Sounds good.
about 5 minutes. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
What was your name?
Joey.
Joey, are you experienced in martial arts of any kind?
No, not at all. Why?
I'm just wondering if I get down there, you guys don't have what I'm looking for, and I get a little physical with you, start knocking you around. How are you going to react?
Oh, we'll just see.
We will see.
Yeah.
No, I'll be there in 5 minutes. You better be ready because I'm not playing around, Buster.
All right, sounds good.
Does it sound good? It's not going to be good on your end when you're talking to the floor.
Talking to what?
Talking to the floor, wise guy. You heard me.
Okay.
You got a strap on you? You got a toolie?
A strap?
A strap. I'm not talking about dildos.
Oh, no.
What's your deal here, Joey?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Can you give it to me straight? I got a lot of money and it's burning a hole in my pocket. I'm trying to hook you up.
That's good. I'm trying to hook you up too, but I don't have what you're looking for.
Well, I'll give you a 20% tip if you can take one of my roundhouse kicks to the jaw. You're laughing now. I'm not smiling.
No, that's good.
Is it good? We're going to see what's good in about 4.5 minutes. I'm in my car driving right now.
Sounds good.
Is it going to be good when I get to busting with my 50 cal?
Okay.
Can I talk to your manager, Joe? I'll send over bank account information right now, or a Wells Fargo transfer. What do you need? Joe, am I losing you?
All right. Oh my god.
Well, that went on for longer than I thought.
Well, you're playing to the salesperson in Joe, man.
No, that was a better car dealership phone call than I've ever had. The last one I had to flip my character 6 fucking times, and somehow this girl still wanted to go on a date.
She did.
No, I'm hugely inspired by this prank caller named Longmont Potion Castle. So the whole I'm gonna knock you around, all that, that's pretty much his shtick. But I fucking love that guy so much. He's an anonymous prank phone caller for the past like 20 years.
Are you familiar with Roy D. Mercer?
Mm-mm.
He is a prank caller out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. He did a college radio show for years and years, and that was his stick too. He would call people up. People would call in the radio station with their friends' numbers, a little bit about them. And he would call them up and say something about like they run a business, their shop fucked up the haircut of my son. I'm coming up there. You're gonna give me my money back. You're getting an ass whooping. I'm opening up a whole can of whoop ass on you. And it's really entertaining. If you haven't checked it out, you should look it up. All of his stuff is on YouTube now, man.
No, I gotta check it out. I fucking did. I love Longmont Potion Castle so much. So hopefully I'll fuck with him too. The Jerky Boys. You guys know the Jerky Boys?
I know of them, yeah.
They have super funny fucking bits. They have this one bit where they call someone and tell them that there's like Latino roofers working on their house, and they're like falling off the roof and fucking making a disaster. He'll call companies and tell them he's got like 5 tons of aquamarine rock gravel that they're about to dump on their property. They just need a credit card number. And he's like, my guys are here with fucking 5 tons ready to dump this aquamarine gravel.
Like I've called a Hawaiian sex toy shop, and I acted like a grandpa that was on like a honeymoon, and he's like, I need some Hanel beats. Do you know where they go? Because I don't, but they look like they're a lot of fun. And I had this lady trying to describe what anal beads were and correct me on how to pronounce them, and I just was too old to understand. And then she hung up on me because I asked if they had jelly underwear, and she wouldn't describe to me or tell me that those didn't work.
Jelly underwear?
Yeah, because they have edible underwear. And the old guy's not going to understand.
I've been wiping Smuckers on my shaft. It's not doing me any justice.
And then the car dealership I called, I had this lady on the fucking phone for like 30 minutes. And I went from being a very, very effeminate guy talking about how I had to trade in my piece of shit car that I just took in from my boyfriend, to saying that I killed the boyfriend and I needed a place that way I could hide the body and also watch a movie with my new boyfriend, to saying that I needed a space where I could fuck her in the car, to then saying that I needed the car right now and which car she would feel the most comfortable in, because obviously we're getting married.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That was
Hell
a
yeah.
long one.
But my favorite one, and this is the only one that actually has clips on my Twitch channel, is I called the Walmart and asked them if their COVID vaccines had 5G in them, and if they were going to hand me the iPhone there, or if I had to go to the electronics counter to get it. And this Chinese man, because you could hear it in his voice because of his accent, he sounded like he just came off a boat, was like, "No, sir, no, I've never heard about 5G giving you cancer or anything like that." I said, "No, sir, I just want to know if it's going to give me a boosted signal on my current phone, or if I have to go get a new one, or if you give me the phone." And then I got him going on that for like 5-10 minutes. He even like brought up articles that he was reading off to me. I was like, "So if the adult vaccine gives you 5G, does the little kid vaccine give them 4G? Do they get upgraded to 4G now? Are they better people and get better cell service?" He's like, "Sir, I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't even know what 4G is."
He doesn't know what 4G is. He doesn't have a fucking phone.
It's always
was
a fun
fucking
one to call up to Walmart and quit for people or call in for people, you know, just
Yep.
generally fuck with how the internal of the business works.
No, that
You
shit's-
did *67, right? So that way they couldn't read your phone number.
No, I did not do that.
That's probably
Well,
why they were
okay.
transferring you around a shit ton.
Yeah.
They're like, "Why the fuck is somebody in Maryland calling me?"
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm international. Are you gonna rock one?
Yeah, I got the. Oh,
Hell yeah.
I'm trying to call yours back.
Okay.
323.
How's chat doing? We're live right now? People are watching
Yeah.
this live. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been live for 31 minutes now.
Let me get over to the
Yep.
comments. Okay.
They're pretty active.
All right. That was a good
and
promo.
thank you for calling LA City Cars. Please be advised all calls are recorded for quality and training purposes. If you know the extension number of the party you're trying to reach, you may dial it at any time. For sales team, please press 1. Service department, please continue to hold for the next available representative.
Thank you for choosing LA City Cars. This is Robbie speaking. How can I help you?
Yo, man. So I'm really, really looking for a brand new car. I just got my first signing check from signing my deal with a record label, and I really, really need a new whip. But I'm kind of scared. I want like blacked out windows and shit like that. I don't want to have to sit there and wait like 3-4 weeks for that shit to get done. So I really, really need this shit like super, super soon.
Okay. What type of vehicle do you have in mind, my friend?
I'm just looking for something to have my wifey just drive me around every now and then. So that way, you know, I'm not in the front seat because I know you can't tint those windows. Last thing you want to deal with the police and all that shit. Like that just ends badly. You don't want that shit. So I just need something that my wifey can whip around. I can fit in the back. Obviously, I'm a big fucking dude. I'm like 6'7", like 220. I got to make sure that I'm able to fit. But like,
Gotcha.
you know, it is what it is. I just want something that I could pay for in cash.
Totally understand. No worries. Well, we have a few vehicles in mind, actually. What is your name, sir?
My name's Steve.
Gotcha, Steve. Perfect. And what is your last name, Steve?
McQueen.
Okay, Steve McQueen.
I don't give out my real name to anybody. I apologize.
Actually, I totally understand that. It will be the best number to get back in contact with you, Steve.
I'll get back in touch with you guys when I'm ready. I'm ready. Like I'll be there tomorrow. I'm just trying to come up with a general idea of what's available.
Okay, that's perfectly fine. No worries. So we actually have the Maserati. We actually have a few Maseratis. They're already blacked out and tinted and everything. You have nothing to worry about, with the exception of the front windshield. We have a lot of different vehicles. Are you familiar with the BMWs or the Mercedes-Benz? Would that be something that you may like?
So I got like a really, really weird car taste, man. So what I'm looking for, because I hang out in Compton a lot and shit like that, I want like a 2002 Honda Accord with everything just blacked out.
I don't really think we have a 2002 Honda Accord.
I'm just being a little sarcastic with that, but like,
Right.
I don't want to be flashy. I want to be able to hide in plain sight. So literally, I'm not riding down in the middle of, the hood
Right.
with a Maybach.
I mean, even if you did, I mean, it's perfectly fine. You
Is
know,
it
I get
fine?
what you're coming from, though. I'm normally in Compton and in certain areas almost every other day. All right, Steve. So what we can do then is I can send you a few photos, but I do not have like a line to get in contact with you. But if you check our website, lacitycars.com, we have like a plethora of different vehicles that you may have an interest in.
Is there anything like in that nice little mid-range where it's not like I'm spending 150K, but like I could put 150K in it if I felt like, but it doesn't look like
Right.
150K.
Of course, like I said, we have the Maserati, we have the CLK, we have the C300. We also have a Chrysler 300S. That's something that you are interested in. We have that as well.
What year is that Chrysler? Because I'm not Lil Wayne, but
Right. I mean, it's very spacious. If you're 6'7", trust me, you're gonna have some leg room. That's for sure.
yeah, I'm not one of those crazy rappers that just puts little in front of my name because everything's bigger.
Right.
Some days you want to be able to go to the drive-in and sling something in the back seat. You want to be able to make sure it fits.
Absolutely, no worries. We have right here. We also have, if you're open to that as a suggestion, we do have the Srt Hellcat. It's all white, red interior seats. It's really nice. 707 horsepower, 650 torque. Yep, it's really good looking.
Oh, I fucking love those cars, man. But I feel like everybody would know that it's me.
Are you sure? I mean, you could be very conspicuous in this vehicle because a lot of people pretty much drive these vehicles. I mean, yeah. But that Chrysler 300, let me check it out for you.
I'd be afraid to put some blue stripes or something like that on it. It'd probably get shot up just based off of the color.
Not so much. No, those days are long gone from now. Like majority of the people who are pretty much in that type of life are actually trying to get like their college degrees, believe it or not. Which is actually a good thing.
Oh, is that what C's make
So
screws
the
means?
this Chrysler 300S is actually a 2016, and it's maroon color.
That probably looks like my grandma's car. That would fit in quite well, I think.
Okay.
Do you think that could tow like a couple cement blocks if I need to?
I'm sorry, a couple what?
Cement blocks?
A couple cement blocks. I mean, it is a sports vehicle. It's actually a luxury vehicle, but I don't see why not. Unless you're into construction work or something like that.
No, I'm not into construction work. Just sometimes you got to carry
Right.
some cement blocks in the trunk,
Sanitation.
some garbage bags, a cleanup kit.
Well, yeah, of course. I know where you're coming from. Wine, of course. Lie, just in case. I
Exactly.
get you. Right.
Some pig
Been
feed
there
every
before,
now and then.
Hey, gotta do what you gotta do.
Got to give them to.
But
Oh.
yeah, we have exactly what you're looking for.
Okay, man. Well, thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
He caught on way too quickly. He was too chill to keep
Vacated.
fucking with. He kept going with it, and like I was like, nope, we're done here now.
It was like, yeah, no, I know you're trying to murder people. I'm cool with it. Come on by. We got your murder mobile, the stabbing wagon. It's ready to go. I'll gas it up.
Maroon,
Out
it's just
front.
like your grandma's car. We're good.
Stabbing wagon would be great in the UK. It would go great there.
It would go great. We call the stabbing wagon the minivan that our friend had that everybody used to fuck their girlfriends in back in high school.
Oh, I was thinking like a knife. I was thinking like knife assault, but yeah.
In this case, it would be a knife assault. In that case, it was also a knife. It was a dagger assault.
Dagger dick.
A dagger dick. Exactly.
Gang.
Really, really fucked up van. So I used to work as a car dealer actually when I was underage. I was like 14, 15. And I worked for one of my parents' friends who was doing like wholesaling cars and shit like that.
Mhm.
I've told the story about how like my parents kind of just let insurance lapse on their vehicles all the time. So like cars rolled through my family very quickly. And the only way you could insure those afterwards is if they were on a dealer plate. So you would insure it through the dealer and then be able to drive it still. But if it wasn't on the dealer plate, it wouldn't be able to be driven. It would be under like a hiatus from DMV. You couldn't register it, you couldn't insure it. So my friend who was the dealer's brother's special needs got into a car accident or hit by a car at one point, has like a rod in his back, not fully there. So my parents ended up having to give up this 2006 silver Dodge Caravan. The interior was blue. It made absolutely no sense, but the interior was blue. We ended up having to give it to him. His name's Dave. He takes the entire interior out of the fucking van, which I was like, okay, you're just going to have like a truck van where you just stuff everything in the back and you have the 2 front seats. If you're a single dude, why the fuck do you need a van anyway? This dude took like yards and yards of fabric and laid a brand new carpet and a brand new headliner for the entire fucking van and hung little fabric balls off the ceiling.
Shaggin' wagon.
They were all like Native American print, so it was all wolves and like the Aurora Borealis, and
very hippie-ish.
The balls were Christmas balls.
Hell yes, dude. Ornaments?
Yep. So this dude was like 40 years old, and like he's one of the nicest people in the fucking world. He's just not all there.
Sounds like
so
it.
Like
nice.
You would go up to his room because he had a mini fridge up there, I think, and like there was like soda in his room. And he had this big breasted fucking female poster over top of his bed. And I was like, shit. I haven't seen anybody do this since like they were 16, and dude, you're like 40.
That's awesome.
Like,
big titties, you know, they never go out of style.
No, can't.
No, but he still lived with his mom and his stepdad, which was the sad part.
Okay. I can't have breasts entering my fucking brain every second I look at my wall. You know what I mean?
Like, how could you go to sleep if you just have melon-sized titties on your wall, just right above your head?
That's gonna fuck with me. I can't have that, bro. I don't even like. Yeah, I like unfollow or mute posts from women on Instagram that post erotic shit. To be honest, I just don't want it entering into my fucking brain when I don't want it to. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I have my own secret times. That's all I need. Everything else is perfectly fine. I just want to live normal life.
Well, it's like shoved down all media channels these days. You know, there's asses and tits on every Instagram channel, getting ads, you know, Twitter pages, all of it, man. I mean, clickbait, you know, it's everywhere. I mean, porn is one of the biggest industries on the internet.
Definitely. It's like it's a sexual mind assault. How are you gonna keep your dick out of your hand, Zach? That's what I'm wondering every fucking day.
How can you? How can you?
Like, the shit is what it is. When you got ADHD, the shit just goes, man.
ADHD
it just goes and goes.
Yeah, so
sorry, Cowboy.
You lose focus with ADHD every time. Like you're focusing on like homework or whatever, and it's just like dick.
Dopamine right now.
You know.
Yes. So yeah, Zach, do you think so? You've watched some of my content. You've obviously we've had conversations and everything.
Yeah.
From your perspective, do you think I have ADHD?
I think it's probably a good possibility. Normally very, very creative people, normally very, very intelligent people generally have ADHD or somewhere in that spectrum, whether it's a little bit or a lot of it. It kind of just depends on like who you specifically individually are. Like it can even manifest things like anxiety, eating disorders, and like it runs the gamut, which is the crazier part because everybody looks at me like, oh, you have ADHD, you're just searching for meds or something like that. And it's not that in the slightest.
Yeah, no, I've never been diagnosed or anything. But yeah, I don't know much about ADHD.
What I would do is go in without knowing anything or just having like general conversations about it. Talk to a psychiatrist, get diagnosed if they feel you should be diagnosed. So that way you're not going to sway them one way or the other.
Sounds like I need health insurance.
Well, Obamacare tells you you're supposed to have that shit.
Yeah. No, I mean, I paid for health insurance all of last year, and I didn't use it fucking once, so I opted out this year.
Don't need it.
A lot of them now are remote and shit, though, so it's like $100 a visit.
Okay. Yeah, I was on Kaiser Permanente last year, and now I don't have fucking anything.
Yeah, a lot of them are super, super cheap compared to what they used to be. It used to be like a couple $100 per episode. Let me just restate this. Josh is in a voice acting lesson or meeting. He will try and come at some point. Myth is in Colorado doing Colorado things, even though he's 20. Dipshit. He got No, you're good, man. I'd rather restate it so that way you guys aren't confused and questioning why he posted it, but he's not here. He just had prior engagements that were thrown on him last minute, so neither one of the boys are here. Josh should be here, hopefully, probably the last 45 minutes or so. It's just kind of waiting for him to be able to be here. He said that his meeting should be about an hour. I figured I was going to give it about an hour and then restate it, but you asked the question. I'd rather answer it and cover the topic while I was able to.
Yeah, I wonder if the people here in chat live right now, if they know like who I am, or if they're perplexed about who this fucking long-haired mustache dude is.
Well, I actually kind of wanted to talk to you a little bit about some of your content. You've done a whole bunch of stuff. One of the big things was the ICP, meeting of the posse. What is the meeting of the
Gathering the Juggalos, Insane Clown Posse. Whoop whoop. You know what I'm talking about?
Whoop whoop.
Gang.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a big video, bro. That was definitely a blessed video that went crazy for me. So, yeah, that was exciting. I went to the Gathering of the Juggalos last year. I'll be going again this year. When I pulled up to the gathering, bro, I was like mad. I was like mad off put because the vibe is crazy there, and there's hella tents, there's hella people. But once I like settled in, bro, they were really cool, accepting, kind people. You know what I'm saying? If you're not coming there with judgment, you're not being mean to them, because most people, take it as an easy dunk to be mean to them. But I just talked to them.
They would take one look at them, right?
Yeah, they fucked with me, bro. They accepted me. I obviously didn't fit in, and they treated me like I fit in, and they were cool. And then now I'm gonna go back this year, and I'm gonna become a juggalo. I'm gonna get dressed up. And
is there any sort of like indoctrination thing? Like, do you have to take like 3 whippets in a row and then smoke a crack pipe, or like, is it probably nothing like that?
It's like you just gotta be rep. It's all a big family, they say. So you gotta rep the fucking.
You got to drink at least 3 full bottles of Faygo Cola.
You got to drink Faygo. You got to say whoop whoop. You got to be dressed in the proper regalia, and you got to be down for the fam. Juggalo fam for life. Whoop whoop.
Hell yeah.
You also got to be very careful because you can't listen to Eminem around them, otherwise they're going to get really, really fucking mad.
Yeah.
Wait, really? That's a thing?
And ICP, like, they hate pedophiles, so they're always fucking around with Chris Hansen. Like, Chris Hansen was at the last gathering. Like, they're like hella anti-opiates and hella anti like pedophiles.
That's good shit. So you don't see any opiates around the gathering of the Juggalos then?
Nah, because I was asking what their favorite drug was, and everyone's saying like weed, mushrooms, whippets, and they were all adamantly like, yeah, we don't fuck with opiates. I'm sure there is an opiate problem, but they it's not like publicly accepted.
Word. Yeah, well, I mean, that's great.
That's everywhere. Opiate problems everywhere. But yeah, they don't fuck with that shit. They're not promoting opiates at all.
Sounds like they're more into like the trippy stuff, the hippie party stuff.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah. But yeah, I like the fucking Juggalos, dude. They fuck with me, and I fuck with them. It
seemed like a dope atmosphere to be in. I've been in a couple of fests, but nothing quite like that. That was just wild. The other one,
the comments. If you look through the comments of that video, there's a lot of people being like, "Oh, these are garbage people. These are trash people." Like, just being very negative. And it's fine if you draw that conclusion. But yeah, I'm going in there just ambivalent.
Well, I think everybody sees the whole. We're going to claim them as a gang. We're going to claim them as a national threat, and everything else is like this big, impressive thing. When if you have enough numbers and you have enough people, and there's negative people within your group, which there's going to be if you have enough people, you're probably going to be claimed as a gang as well.
Yeah, it's like the outliers spoiling everything. But yeah, I like them. I think they get a bad rap. Obviously, they have a bit of an interesting community. But yeah, I like the Juggalos. I do, and the gathering is fun.
I've seen so many people with Hatchet Men tattoos. It's insane. But also at the same time, it's like the only 2 people that have called themselves Juggalos or Juggettes. The Juggette was ridiculously ugly, which I guess is stereotype, but not trying to stereotype. She was ugly and high off her ass all day, every day during high school. And then the dude ended up being a Juggalo, and his name's Mark, and he got beaten up by a adult woman when he was in 3rd grade. We can tell that story if you guys want to, but that's up to you guys.
Yeah, how did a 3rd grader get fucking beat up by
were there cops involved? There ought to be.
No, that's the funnier part. Okay, so this goes back to when I was in second grade because this kid was my next door neighbor, but a year older than me. He was like his brother was the same age as me, but he was held back a year. So they kind of like straddled my grade. One was in first grade, one was in third grade. So I moved into this apartment complex. It was 4 buildings. And they were all like separated. They each had like their own little individual yard, and it kind of just smoothed its way out. Like there was a driveway that went through all of them, like a normal apartment complex.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like duplexes that were stuck together. So it was a top and bottom apartment, hallway, and then another duplex.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like 2 of those stuck together. So there was 8 apartments in each building. They were the ones that were right across the hallway from me. So straight across, that's where they were. Comes into play later on. So me and this kid got into fist fights all the time, like normal kids do. I see this as an adult now, and I'm like, that's normal shit. He was probably about 60 pounds bigger than me because, as you can see, I'm a skinny fuck. Like, I just am. Like, I fucking get it.
Heterosexual twinks.
Yeah, I'm just one of those skinny ass motherfuckers. So I always have been. Like, I've always been underweight, extremely strong for my weight, but tall and skinny. And this kid was tall and fat, like the stereotypical extremely overweight kid. And he had bright fucking red hair and freckles everywhere. But we loved wrestling at the time. So like we always would fuck around and start wrestling and doing the rock bottom and trying to teach ourselves how to choke slam each other and shit like that.
Yeah, because this will be in the late 90s, right? So this is when like fucking
This
WWE
is
was popping.
early 2000s. So
Yeah,
this
that's
is like the Rock's explosion right after Stone Cold.
Stone Cold, yeah, bro.
This is Chris
CM
Jericho,
Punk.
Triple H before CM Punk. This is like start of John Cena.
My personal biggest inspiration, my mentor, the person I like everything he does, I mimic, Chris Benoit. I mean, he's literally like my hero. You know what I'm saying?
Is he the snake guy?
No,
he's the dude that like he's like a family guy. He's a family man.
Yeah, he was a very, very big family man until steroids took his family away.
Oh, that's speculative.
So
Sounds like you're saying.
Like he killed his wife and kids, dude. It's a really fucked up thing.
Yeah, we were trying to teach ourselves how to do wrestling moves on each other, which I guess you're not supposed to do, but whatever. And every single time that happened, it would end up in a fist fight. Because as you're fucking around, somebody gets a little too rough and you just start swinging. So one day, his little brother, who has, I think he's autistic. I don't think he's ADHD, but that's all they said he was when he was a kid. My sister has special needs. She has cerebral palsy. Not as bad as what you're picturing, like wheelchair bound, but like not a normal person. Like slightly less than normal, but not completely fucked up. She was learning how to ride a bike, and so she was riding around on the basketball court with her little training wheel bike at like 5 years old. He runs up and breaks both of the training wheels, just kicks them as hard as he can to like shatter the plastic out, and she fell.
It's a good
So
kid.
I ran up behind him and sucker punched him and beat the shit out of him.
Builds character.
Yeah.
Beat the living piss out of him.
Mm-hmm.
So his fat fucking brother decides to walk out of the apartment and try to jump me. Because this is who we all are. We get into a fight. I pick his fat ass up and F5 him on a rock. If you know wrestling, Brock Lesnar's famous move is an F5. Put him on your shoulders, spin him. Don't think his head necessarily hit the rock, but he hit the rock. And I thought it was done there. I told my parents, I was like, yeah, me and Mark got into a fight. Don't let him over for a couple days, whatever. Just like, give me some space. I'm not going outside for a little bit. So my mom's lesbian ex-girlfriend comes, and she lived in Utah, and she's this really, really short, fat, butchy chick. Probably about like 5'2", and probably about 280, 300. Like the chick you're immediately picturing. Glasses, very, very short hair. The most stereotypical butchy chick you've ever seen in your life. She's like, you know what? I'm going to fucking deal with this. She gets in touch with her brother, who was like maybe 4 grades older than us. And her and her brother come over. Was there just a gunshot in one of your guys' rooms?
No, my foot hit the thing. I'm sorry.
Oh, it literally sounded like somebody shot a shotgun behind one of you.
No, I'm sorry.
So we all get in the car because we go to pick them up, and her brother Danny is like, "Yeah, I'm gonna fuck this kid up. Don't even stress. Don't even worry about it. I'll take care of all this." 6th grader gonna fuck up a 3rd grader. That's about enough. So we pull up to an apartment building that isn't ours. It was the apartment building before ours, so it was building 2. And this fat little redhead kid says, "Yo, what up, Zach?" And before I can fully get out of the car, my door's open. Before Danny can fully get out of the car, his door's open. My mom's dykey ex-girlfriend gets out of the car, trips him with like the choke slam trip where you like sweep their legs and throw them at the ground, and just starts pummeling and beating the shit out of this kid.
Jesus Christ.
Like just beating the living hell out of this kid.
Well, rightfully so. I mean, sounds like he had it coming, little prick.
So
Did he try to jump you again after that?
Hold on, we're getting there. We're getting there. So my mom just starts screaming, "Karen, get the fuck back in the car. Get the fuck back in the car. Are you retarded?" So she finally gets back in the car after this kid's like curled up in a ball. And we get back to the apartment. We all get in the apartment, and you hear the front door slam because there was a front door and then the apartment doors. You hear the front door slam. You hear an apartment door slam. You know that person only went one place. They didn't stomp up the stairs. That is 100% Mark walking into his apartment. And you can hear him scream, crying. Mommy, this dyke bitch just beat the hell out of me. And we're sitting there hearing this shit. And we just start giggling. Because he has no idea where she went. His mom's like, "Mark, you're just fucking lying. Stop your fucking bullshit. Stop it." See, my mom's in the chat. She's going to say that all of this is true. She's just going to tell me I'm exaggerative. So he goes outside again with a baseball bat. Walked around the entire apartment complex looking for this dyke bitch. Nothing ever happened. So we end up back in the same school again after I moved and he moved and then I moved again. In like 8th grade, he walks up to me. He's like, "Hey, Zach, you know, I laughed the entire time that dyke bitch beat the shit out of me. Don't worry about it. It's okay."
That's good, right? Is that good?
I have no idea. The fat kid laughed. Okay. You got beat up by a 30-year-old woman. I
guess if bygones are going to be bygones. I think in the end he built characters. So, I mean, sound like he had it coming.
Lines. I think that's probably a pretty bad thing to do, but, you know.
Because she was so old, but also because she was of a minority class. I mean, I think that
hate crimes then what's the thing?
Hate crimes and assaults, as long as they're done by people who would be victims of hate crimes, cancel. I'm pretty sure that's how judicially they work.
Intersectionality.
Yep. Right there. So Brandon, you know, we've kind of talked about some of the videos that you've done, but I bet you that a majority of the people I bet you a majority of the people in the chat don't know your background. Like, how did you get into YouTube? If you want to talk about it a little bit.
Well, yeah, I had a bit of a late, a late entry into the YouTube game. I went to college after high school. I was really into art. I went to college to get my bachelor's degree in film and animation. Got my bachelor's degree. I knew from the beginning I wanted to be a teacher. So my college had a master's program. Got my master's degree in education. Became an elementary school art teacher. Taught pre-K through 5th grade in Montgomery County, Maryland. And yeah, it just sucked, bro. I dedicated my whole life to this job and doing stuff that I thought I wanted to do, right? I didn't like college, but I was doing it for the end game of being a teacher, right?
Right.
And then I get to where I'm going and I'm miserable, I'm unhappy. And I'm like, what the fuck? And that's when I start thinking, you know, like, what do I want to do? You know, I've done all this shit that's like, I'm being a good kid, right? I've got my master's degree. I'm a teacher. I should be happy. Yeah. And it's just not fulfilling for me. So then I started thinking, and I put in my 6-month resignation as a teacher, and I started filming for my YouTube show. I was a huge fan of Tom Green. He's like my biggest inspiration, Tom Green. And yeah, I just put in my resignation as a teacher and decided I wanted to do a YouTube show. I didn't exactly know what the fuck I was going to do, but I was inspired by Tom Green, inspired by Longmont Push and Castle, $1 Million Extreme, Sam Hyde, Wild Boys. And then I quit my job as a teacher and started fucking being a YouTuber. It's pretty
You
much it.
came to have a relationship with Sam Hyde, correct? I saw that you posted a video where you interviewed him a couple days ago.
Yeah. So how that came about is last year around November, Sam's editor Jet Neptune shouted me out on his Instagram story, and I saw it and I was like, holy fuck, like, Jet Neptune knows who I am.
Weird how
Shit, right?
connections happen.
Literally, like he hit me up and I was like, oh my god, Jet Neptune knows who I am. And I like really fuck with all of MDE. So it's like 8 months later, Jet invited me out to the Creator Clash, and then Sam got banned, and it kind of just divinely came together. And then Jet was like, after I filmed the video at the Creator Clash, Jet was like, you should do an interview for Sam for the video. And then that's just kind of just got lucky, stumbled into my lap.
Hell yeah.
But I had emailed Sam like before I ever uploaded a video. I have emails to Sam back like 2017, 2018, 2019. But I emailed him when I started and tried to see like how I could work a collab, and he's just like, yeah, you're not about to pay me money for a collab. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it just has to happen naturally.
It ended up happening. So it's just like divine luck, I guess. Really.
Well, there's always that weird thing where it's like people expect money out of you, or they don't. And
Now,
it's like, it doesn't
Mike,
matter
you
if
get
it's
some money.
$50 or it doesn't matter if it's $1,000. It's like the amount of money doesn't matter. It's like you expect something out of me for us to have a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You're either going to expect it or you're not, and it's really weird where that line actually gets drawn. Like,
well, because
I contacted.
whenever you change that dynamic, it changes things mentally for two people having a conversation. I think absolutely.
Like, I contacted, I guess his tag is the guy with the hair. He he makes those clapping TikToks where he like makes songs that are like 30 seconds long. I was like, bro, you're popping. He knew McCringle Dingle. I guess they were in contact with each other because I guess they do improv stuff together. And he's like, dude, you should get him on. So I messaged him. He's like, yeah, I want minimum $50 for a half an hour.
Fuck
I'm like,
that.
dude, you can fuck right off.
See, okay. Do you think that's a good deal, Brandon? Because I know that you paid for a little bit of time with Danny, and maybe had a little bit of a situation there. What happened with that?
We don't need to get into it too much, but yeah. That was part of my entry into YouTube. It was April. I think I had like 6 videos filmed, and I'd been watching his content at the time. He had a tier on his Patreon that was called Release the Crack, and it cost $3,000. I viewed it as a business investment. I'll do the $3,000. I think the guy's going to like me. I think we're going to hit it off. And we didn't hit it off, and what transpired. But yeah, I paid for a collab in the beginning for sure.
That collab was cool though. That was a fun time for sure. I mean, you getting trash. I mean,
when I look in that video, in the golf video, it was the second day I had quit teaching. The day he got there was my first day. My contract ended. I picked him up from the airport at like 4:30. My contract ended at 4 p.m. So I was in an exciting moment. I was really nervous. I was desperate. You can kind of smell the desperation on me when you watch that video, because it was a lot of money, and I had just quit my job that I had worked for 6 years to get, and taught 7 years of my life towards this job. I had just given it all up, and what I was doing was going to prevent me from going back into that. So yeah, I was a bit desperate in the way that like I wanted to just be noticed. I didn't want to go unnoticed. I wanted to be loved or hated.
I think those first connections are the hardest ones to get, in all honesty. It's like the first time you connect with somebody that's larger than you, it does make you grow exponentially because you essentially don't have anything to begin with. When you have something, then it's like the first couple of collabs that you do obviously do grow exponentially, but after that it kind of mellows out.
So yeah, I think whenever that $3,000 collab dropped, the first day the video was out, I just gained like 200 subscribers. Next day, gained like 40 subscribers, and then flatlined. It really did not do much for me because I didn't come off that likable in the video, right? Yeah. So it didn't turn out how I had hoped, but it is what it is.
Well, you definitely helped that a little bit. Sorry, go ahead.
Why did you feel like you could make that jump, especially with how I cannot English tonight.
Yeah. What made me
comfortable?
With
how bad the uncertainty is, how did you feel comfortable making that jump?
So that is a question that I thought about, because looking back on stuff, you're like your perception of it changes as time passes. You have a better understanding of your behavior, why you did certain things. Like when something happens in the moment, you think a certain way about it, but you might not really understand it till time passes. So looking back on it now, my brother passed away September 4th, 2019, my first Thursday with students in my classroom. And he was in the Air Force, and he was doing something that he didn't necessarily enjoy. And he was 13 years in. He had 7 years left till he retired. And I knew he was just sticking in it for that retirement. He wasn't happy in his last years. He wasn't doing what he wanted. And he passed away from a heart attack at 34. And that just made me think, like, man, like if I were to fucking die right now, like I would have died like with so much I had wanted to do, right? Like so much shit I'd wanted to do. So that just made me feel like I need to go now. It was 2020 just happened. It was a new decade. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was just at a point where I was like, I got to do something. So I was just desperate. It was desperation. I was unhappy, and I wanted to make a better career path for myself. And yeah, like I'm way more it's like set to be a YouTuber, like naturally, than a school
absolutely.
teacher. You know what I mean? And the stuff I wanted to do, like I wanted to be a teacher because teachers have a big impact on students. Like a good teacher makes a good art class, a bad teacher makes a bad art class, right? But it's a two-way street. Students also make classes. So I was in a really bad school with, very underprivileged kids, and they misbehaved strongly, to say the least. So I wasn't having an impact. I didn't feel like I was helping these kids at all. I'm trying, but it's really what's happening is I'm getting upset. I'm not really helping the kids. It's just like a net negative, right? And I feel like the wanting to like help people and talk to people, like I get satisfaction out of that now as a YouTuber. Like I think my impact on people is greater as a YouTuber than it was as a teacher, albeit maybe not the best. I'm not the best influence. You shouldn't look at me and do exactly as I do. I break the law. I do criminal stuff, but yeah, I keep it real. And I think I hopefully inspire people to, be comfortable with themselves, not be depressed and anxious, be comfortable talking about stuff, humanizing people, different groups that you might judge, like the Juggalos or Lady Boys or people that live in O Block, treating them like everyone else, giving them a platform and talking to them and, humanizing people. Because I feel like that's a big thing that brings it, that is divisive, is that people, they aren't having conversations. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They're talking about people. They're not talking to them. That's like what the media propagates. They tell stories about people, but they don't always like give the mic to the person that they're talking about and let them
have their 2 cents.
Yeah. So,
no, and that's like the basis of something that really, really pissed me off when I was a kid. And I don't know if this pissed you off. It pissed you guys off too. But like, I was always taught, give people respect when they give you respect. Don't automatically give it. Treat everybody the same. So like, I took that as like, even people that are older than me, people that everybody else gives respect, let them earn the respect that they want and allow them to show you who they're going to be. So I never took the whole give your elders respect regardless of who they are or what they are. I don't treat people differently based off of who they are, what color they are, what they think, or who they are mentally. Like I treat everybody the same. I'll joke around with every single person the same. The more I get to know you, the more I'm going to talk to you, the more I'm going to be open with you and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to treat everybody the same in the beginning. How you interact with me is how that changes. And like, I don't know if I'm weird in that aspect, but I didn't think of the whole give everybody respect when they're an elder, because you see these teachers that are fucking assholes. You see people that are fucking assholes. It's like, why the fuck am I going to give you respect? You are just literally another person in this world. There's no reason for you to be an asshole to a kid or to be an asshole to anybody until they give you a reason to be.
Yeah, and that illusion of authority that, like, growing up, teachers have authority, police have authority, being a teacher and seeing how these teachers act and how uninspired they are. Some of them are trying their best and they're doing good. I'm not trying to shit on Montgomery County. Like there's, you don't become a teacher for any other reason besides you want to help kids or you really like the vacation time.
Not for the money.
But yeah, seeing the teachers that were like 10, 12 years into it, they hated their job. They don't even fucking like the kids. They're miserable. They're talking shit in the teacher's lounge. It was just like, bro, I do not fit into this fucking thing. But yeah, there's teachers that are just fucking straight up shitty, and kids are supposed to be nice to them, and they're miserable people with bad attitudes, just like anyone else, And I'm a big person on reciprocating stuff. So if you're nice to me, I like to be twice as nice to you, right? If you're shitty to me,
exactly,
I'm gonna double down, and it's like fuck you. I don't dislike that many people, but when I start to dislike someone, I definitely, you know what I'm saying, can be fucking intense about it, right?
Absolutely.
I don't talk shit about that much people, but if someone wrongs me and someone has done something that I truly feel is wrong, like, yeah, bro, I'm going to reciprocate that shit,
But like there's also different levels, and it seems like there is to you as well. Is like I can joke around and be negative towards somebody, but they understand that I'm just joking around.
Coming from a loving
yeah. There's also a level to me where you will know that I'm fucking mad.
Yeah.
It's the truth. It's the truth.
And if I come for you and I'm mad, your throat's slit within the next 5 minutes. And I promise you, it's going to be the most eloquent, in-depth dig that you've ever had thrown at you. But you will not know everything I said. But you will not you will know at the end of it exactly how the fuck I feel.
Some sharp-tongued vitriol.
It is some quick-witted shit. Really, truly. I was raised with the golden rule, so like I just always treat everybody the way that I want to be treated, and
exactly.
people just they disrespect me, and then I go from there. But I give everybody the benefit of the doubt, because if you don't, I mean, that's just a shitty way to go through life. I feel like. I mean,
oh, exactly. That's why I'm saying, like, everybody starts at zero, and like if you're shitty, you have opportunity to go up, but you go down first. And if you don't respect me and understand why I'm coming at you negatively, then that's what's going to happen. Is it's just going to be the way it is. You're going to be a piece of shit. Yeah.
95% of all arguments, I think, are just communication. If you break it down, though.
Yeah. For sure. No, a big problem I have with the school system is, it's a bureaucratic thing. You have like state regulations, you have county regulations. Like teachers are, a lot of it's out of their fucking hands. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like in my school, we couldn't give lunch detention. We couldn't give, like, you couldn't take someone's recess away. You weren't allowed to positively like motivate them with candy and stuff. Like it was fucking difficult. And I feel like there weren't repercussions for kids acting up. And as a kid, if I'm going to empathize with the kid, bro, if I can disrupt the class and be a nuisance, and I can be rewarded with a laptop I can play video games on, or I could be rewarded with a differentiated assignment, I'm going to do it every time, because fuck school, right? I mean, you're a kid, you're trying to have fun. If as a teacher, if I could come into the classroom and if, I don't want to teach a lesson, I fuck around and I can do something else, I would do it every day, right? Because we're humans.
No, absolutely.
We learn.
That was me.
It's not the kid's fault, right? It's an issue. Like discipline is important, right? It teaches you stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like they're taking a lot of the discipline out of the school system, which is funny because I wasn't a good kid. I'm not a goody two shoes kid, but like, bro, when I fucked up in high school and they gave me lunch detention, it motivated me to not fuck up.
No, but there's like two sides of that. So I went to an inner city school for all of my elementary schooling, other than like half a kindergarten. Mm-hmm. And it was very, very similar to what you're saying. Like it was very incentivized to do the right thing, but everything else was kind of de-incentivized. They did have lunch detention, but they couldn't like make you skip lunch or go in there during lunch. It was just for the recess time that you had available. And then when I moved to the sticks into the middle of fucking nowhere, where I moved after I had massive problems, and like now looking back at my friend group, all of us have kids. All of us had kids before we were 25. One of them is in jail doing probably what's going to be a life sentence for a murder charge and everything else. Like,
shout out him.
Then you go to like where I moved in the sticks, and there's no violence, no fighting. Like I got suspended for gang relations. Like
Zach the Thug. All right, I'm with it. Gang related, real shit.
Like that's what I'm saying is like it was so super in-depth and strict in one location, but not in the other location at all. Like it's so weird. Like you have a city school district that's so hands-off that it's like, just do whatever the fuck you please. And then you see the negativity.
Cowboy, my man.
He lost audio.
No, but so what they told me as to why that they took away like the negative repercussions is because it's like a pipeline. If a kid's fucking up, then they start to get socially exiled because they're not going to lunch and recess, and it's like a cyclical thing that they're trying to avoid, right? So that was their logic, and I get it. And I'm not trying to sit here and say I have the answers to the school system. I would have stayed in it. It's not an easy thing to solve. So I'm not going to sit here and just shit on it when I don't have a proper fix to the issue. It's obviously a difficult situation, but at the end of the day, being a teacher is not for me. But I still I still help out and coach junior league wrestling. I still enjoy just talking to people and helping give back.
Hell yeah!
No, and the more life experience you have, the more likely you are to be able to aid those kids that need it. The kids that don't have dads, the kids that don't have that interaction with a male figure. Like we're all dudes. We all are going to have that interaction with a kid at some point.
Yeah. And I had so much shame around me when I quit teaching. Like I felt like such a failure. I felt like a failure in my parents' eyes. Or obviously they don't love the YouTube thing. My family doesn't love the YouTube thing. But bro, it's you have to just listen to your instincts. Humans have strong instincts. And if I can be happy going to O Block and always like living out of a suitcase and traveling and taking all these big risks, I'm obviously fucking a different kind of person that might not be happy in a 9 to 5 teaching job. You know what I'm saying? Because I was never happy in college. I was never happy as a teacher, but I'm as happy as I've been now. So it's like, yeah, I'm trying to be less hard on myself and be like, yeah, maybe it's just fucking, you know, I wasn't destined to be a teacher. Eulerian destiny type shit. You got to, you know, sift through things to figure out what you want to do. That's what I try to tell people that are young that are like, oh, you're a YouTuber, I don't know what to do. Like, you knew what you wanted to do. I'm like, bro, I did not. Like, I just picked something, went for it. 7 years of my life down the drain, and then I switched it up. This YouTube thing, it might not go on forever. You know, I could, you know, start to fall off and then switch when I'm 28 and do something else.
No, but
I
the
think
second you dive fully deep into something and you put your entire heart and soul into something, it feels different.
you have to commit. You have to commit to something.
And it's not just committing, because like you can sit here and dilly-dally with something, or you could put 85% into something. That doesn't mean that the grand scheme of things, you're putting everything into it. The second that you put everything into it, it might just completely click and everything could take off, or you might never take off. But at the same time, like, it feels different when something's the right place to be. And like, I've never fully like experienced that in my life. And like, I've kind of let my life be led by those things. It's like, I should be around this person and it just clicks, or I should be doing this thing and it just clicks. And I've never really been able to articulate that feeling, but it's like, it seems like you felt the same thing. It's like, this teaching thing just isn't the right fucking thing.
Yeah, it's not for me. And I'm trying as hard as I can, and I'm not making the impact I want. I'm not getting what I want out of it. And yeah, it just was, you know, it sucked, bro. It was devastating at the time. It was definitely, it had me fucked up. And even for the first like fucking 6 months to a year I was a YouTuber, it's like, am I doing the right thing? You know what I'm saying? Like, did I just fuck my whole life up? You know what I mean?
Well, you're going into the abyss. You don't know, you know.
Bro, and 6 months into it, I'm like 12,000 subscribers. I'm like $10,000-$15,000 in debt. Like, you know what I'm saying? That I've spent on the channel. I'm not recouping any of the money. And if I would have gave up then, like, fuck, dude, it would have been done. So it really is a weird, like, people ask you, how do you do YouTube? It's like, you have to be like, it's corny and cliche, but you have to be consistent and you have to be original. You have to be passionate about it. There's like no fucking shortcuts. It's weird.
No, and even with there being no shortcuts, you also have to be having the right idea at the right time in the right place. And you as a person also has to be in the right place, right mindset, and be the right person to pop off at that time. Mr. Beast doesn't happen if he doesn't make videos from Minecraft in the beginning.
And if he didn't take the huge risks with spending all that money and getting sponsors and putting it all back into the channel, you know, there was probably a hell of times Mr. Beast could have quit, that he, looking back now, is like probably so happy he didn't quit. And that's actually one thing. I had a phone call with Gideon in December, and I was like just asking him, like, bro, like, what, like, I was so down. I was like, what am I doing wrong? Like, what should I be doing? And he told me, like, bro, just keep doing what you're doing, because if you quit now, you're going to look back in 2 years at where all your friends are at, and you're going to regret that you are fucking on the outside looking in.
Yep.
Because he's like, right now you're on the inside, bro. Keep doing what you're doing, because in a few years, bro, we're all going to be winning and you're going to be happy. That was really, really good advice, bro. Because the next video I posted was the Zilla video, and it blew up. So it was crazy.
No,
well, the cool thing about it is like going from teaching. It's like nobody can say or take away that you didn't try. You went to the school and got all your technical. You got your degrees. You figured out all of it. Learn and educate yourself on how to educate others. And then you realize, okay, this isn't the right thing. You know, you've showed commitment in everything that you've done thus far. You know, it's a commendable aspect.
And like, bro, a big thing is outcome independence, right? Kind of ties in with like the law of attraction and stuff. So I was a wrestler. I wrestled for 17 years. I wrestled through college. I wrestled for the NCWA. It's a club organization. And I was ranked top 5 in the nation my last 2 years out of like whatever 200, 300 people. And I did an All-American, bro. I like shit the bed at nationals. My junior year, I just didn't do good. I went 1-2. My senior year, I blew up my knees. But it is what it is, bro. Because all you can do is try your best. So you just have to fucking like roll with shit that happens with you. As long as you know you're trying your best, there's nothing else you can do. And it sounds so cheesy, but like that's what it is. Because I can sit here beating myself up. Oh, I wanted to be an All-American wrestler. It didn't work out. I'm a loser. I wanted to be a teacher. It didn't work out. I'm a loser. You know. But instead, I'm like, bro, this like something's.
You got some crazy fucking stories, like And you're an intelligent dude who can articulate yourself well. Like, you're a storyteller. You are. You can see it. You can see it in your videos. You can see that you're a visual storyteller that's able to explore not only your thought, but other people's thoughts as well. And being able to do that so well and showcase what the hell you are and who you are and what you're thinking of, nobody really can match that.
And yeah, as a teacher, bro, my classes were up to like 35 kids in a single class for a 45-minute class. So how much attention can I give each of those kids? And also, if a kid is behaving well, they're going to get neglected because I have all these other problem kids. So it's almost you get rewarded by behaving negatively, you get punished by being a good kid.
Squeaky wheel gets greased.
And yeah, and now like I get to go around and have genuine conversations with people one-on-one, you know what I mean? And I love that. Like the human variable element was one of the reasons I wanted to be a teacher, and it's now one of the reasons I love being a YouTuber, because you know, having conversations, talking to people, the fact that I'm on this podcast and talking to you guys, you know, it's cool. I really love you know, people, and YouTube has like crushed some of my preconceived notions about people being hateful or people being areas being dangerous, or you know what I mean? Like I think there's a lot more good in the world than there is bad, and I don't think I would have thought that before I was a YouTuber.
Like I watched that video that you were a part of with JD and I was blown away. So I watched the video by itself, and then I watched like 2 or 3 reactions of it to kind of like gauge what other people took from it, and like compare it to what I took from it, because I'm from the city. I'm a white kid who was discriminated by the rich white kids, so I always hung out with the inner city kids. I grew up ghetto, like I fucking did, and like I've been more in depth and understanding of how those things work and how those conversations work, but also understand where they fall short, or where the outer city people fall short, and kind of can see where those interact and intersect. And it's very, very interesting to have you on, because you were a huge part of that video. Regardless if you got food poisoning or not, you still were there. You still interacted with those people. You still saw it firsthand. So what did you see firsthand?
So what I witnessed firsthand, yeah. So I wanted to do a video about this on my second channel talking about this, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. So
don't go super in depth.
No, we can. It's all good.
You're
so,
good.
Jadon invited me to go to the town, right? Because he thought that I'll be a good fit for the video. And our plan was, if people start being negative and nasty towards us, because he was nervous, you know, him and his cameraman Vito, they were nervous that people were going to be really hateful and mean, because we had heard all this stuff, you know, and it has a really bad rap. So we're like, if we go there and people start being mean, we're going to bring the streets to them. Like I'll be a CEO, he'll be a rapper, and that'll be our shtick, right? But we get there and no one's being mean. Like everyone's being nice. And every time we talk about the KKK or bring up the KKK, people talk about like, oh, they don't represent this town. They're in Zinc. They're on Zinc Road. Like we don't support them. So it's like, as the fucking video's going on, it's like, bro, I don't think that this rapper shtick is going to work. Like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then it kind of just evolved into Jadon talking to people and like, all right, we got to find someone that's racist. So then we're like, we're going to go seek out the KKK. And then we went there. Thomas Robb, the leader of the KKK, wouldn't talk to us. We talked to one of his cronies, and that's the interview in the Jadon video towards the end, right?
Dude, I wish you released the entire thing.
So where at the end, Jadon has that conversation with the racist KKK guy. He says Jadon's not welcome at his church. He's not allowed to come to his church. And but yeah, he gave us a civil conversation. And people took that as we were extending an olive branch to the KKK. I've gotten some really hateful messages and comments saying that I'm a Nazi sympathizer, a white nationalist sympathizer, which is just decidedly like, that is not true at all, right? Like the interview with the KKK in Jadon's video, it stood for itself. Like that guy outed himself as who he was. I didn't feel it was necessary to explain to the audience that we found a KKK guy and he was racist, because that's kind of obvious, right? Yeah. So my video, I don't know if you saw the video on my channel, but I did a video about it, and it was pretty much revolving around how the people in the town are not what they're made out to be. Like the connotation surrounding the town does not bleed into the general public. I was trying to clear the air about just the regular citizens in the town that live there that are like hurt by this connotation surrounding the town. So that's kind of what I was focused on, is just being like, bro, we went to this town, we were showed so much love, and it's not the most racist town. But then people like Hassan took that as, we're trying to make the KKK not seem bad, or we're trying to make it seem like racism doesn't exist, which was not at all what we were trying to do at all. I mean,
I do want to go into Hassan's reaction video, because I think Cowboy saw it as well. But
it had me tight, bro.
That conversation with that KKK leader, crony, whatever the hell he was very, very interesting to me. And everybody's reaction to it was also very interesting to me. Because in my opinion, now I'm saying this from me, not everybody's perspective, I didn't take it as he genuinely hates them. He saw it as he's different from them, so he wants to be separated from them. Yes, he might have different views than that. I'm just kind of generalizing what he was saying and where he was coming from. But if he hated you or felt very, very negatively towards Jadion, he wouldn't have a conversation that he was that open with. and that long of a conversation. It would have been very vulgar. It would have been very aggressive. It wouldn't have been an open dialogue where he's joking and JDion's laughing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
It wouldn't have been willing to appear with us on camera.
Yeah, there's much more interaction than just some racist out in the sticks that's not going to interact. Like, I could have that interaction even in upstate New York, where I can bait a reaction of a very, very negative racist reaction. Like, I could do that tomorrow if I really felt like it.
That was the easy slam dunk move, was to go in there and dunk on them and make them all seem shitty. It would be easy. It would be very easy.
Exactly. But the fact that he wasn't necessarily articulate, because he wasn't, but he was willing to say how he felt, but also not show negativity and who the hell the people were, like, that shows that at least he is different than what everybody perceives them as already.
Yeah, which isn't to say that, like, yeah, he's not, because racism comes in all forms. That's what people were trying to act like. I was like Hassan trying to act like me and Gideon are ignorant. We don't understand racism. Like, bro,
and whitewash everything. Like,
obviously, sorry.
There's no place for that. There's no argument there. And once I saw the video originally and then I watched the reaction, I'm like, that's not anywhere close to what happened at all. Why you want to stick to the straw man that it's going to be whitewashed because it's not how your specific ideology believes it? That's insane to me.
Yeah, and we were not by any means in that interview saying like, oh, he talked to us and he didn't assault us, so he's not racist. That's not what we were saying. And people were asking me and Jadon, why didn't we assault him? It's like, because that's not how fucking like, you don't just assault people.
That's how life is.
That's not reality, bro. Like, oh, punch a Nazi, go do this. That's not how anything's going to get solved. Not that we solved anything, but yeah, we had a civil conversation. He said what he said. Obviously, he's racist. Obviously,
yeah, exactly.
He won't let Jadon come that he's black. I appreciate him talking to us. I'm not here telling you that he's vindicated or anything, but I appreciate the conversation. And those are the people, that guy and people like that, are the racist people in the town that are giving it a bad rap. Because
absolutely, he's racist. And I don't want anybody to get it twisted what I said. But in the grand scheme of things, if he wanted to hurt you guys or infract harm on you guys, he could have did it that day. He could have said, yeah, come to the church, where there's probably more racist people than just
dozens. Them. Yeah, and they could have fucked.
You know
what
I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah. So people have a perception that racism is like. Some people have a perception that racist people will like just assault you and beat the fuck out of you, which is really, that's like a thing of the past. Obviously, it might happen sometimes. It's an outlier, but yeah, the whole video I think was a good video, but some people definitely misinterpreted it because we were not trying to go in there and speak for everyone in the town. I was talking about the general population. They're not racist. They're regular people in a regular town. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And saying that a locality is this way, that way, or the third. It's like saying Silicon Valley is more intelligent than my town, your town, or anywhere else.
Or it's like saying everyone in O Block is a murderer. It's delusional,
correct,
right?
Dealer.
These generalizations are delusional. But yeah, I was really rubbed the wrong way by Hassan. You know, Hassan makes all his money off division and racism. He wanted it to be racist. He was unhappy that we painted it in a positive light. He was very unhappy about that.
That's what makes him viral.
It wasn't
I don't fucking like
Hassan,
bro. I don't like Hassan.
It wasn't even necessarily a negative or positive light either. It was a very, very neutral light. It was, hey, there's positives here and there's negatives here. But obviously, the negatives that are over there aren't pertaining to the kids, aren't pertaining to the mayor, aren't pertaining to anybody that I've interacted with other than these people. And like, how the fuck do you get it so twisted?
Yeah, because, Hassan, he irks me so much. He was saying Jadon doesn't care about racism, all this stuff. You know, Hassan would never have the balls to go into that town and treat people with respect and be ambiguous and talk to people.
Hassan, he couldn't go into Jayville either, bro. No doubt.
He could never go to any of these places, and he's not ballsy enough to go into these places because he's a rich dude in his ivory tower. But yeah, he's not furthering the conversation or having conversations with people he disagrees with unbiasedly. At the end of the day, if I have a conversation with someone in the KKK and they say their feelings, I don't need to fucking shit on them or dunk on them, because you can see for yourself how they feel, you know?
Make your own opinion.
Yeah. So my video was a little bit biased. It was biased because I was trying to show that the regular population of the town is not racist, right? I did not paint the full positive, negative spectrum. And I understand that. And that's what some people are upset, that it wasn't more nuanced. But I said in the end of the video, my whole video is a plug to go watch Jadon's video. So yeah, while I didn't address it in my video, I was trying to get you to go to watch Jadon's video so you could see it for yourself. By no means
Yours was part 1, his was part 2.
Literally.
And like, if you don't understand that, that's insane. You're not going to cover the same topic. If you guys collab on something, it's going to be the whole project should be looked at, not just
my video was my subjective experience with Jadon. I hadn't seen him since he was at 400K. It was reacting to how fit, like his fame, the way people are reacting to him, and the way that, you know, this whole town just showed him so much love. And yeah, it was that. But dude, obviously fucking the KKK is fucking racist. I don't need to, that goes without saying. And it should go without saying that if there's racists in a town, the general population is not racist. That also should go without saying. But it was something that I was highlighting, you know what I mean? But yeah, Hassan, bro, fuck, dude. That guy to me is fucking pathetic. I don't like the Young Turks. I don't like Cenk Uyghur. I don't like the Armenian genocide. I don't like any of that fucking stuff.
Like, I'm rather political. Josh isn't here, so I can say this shit. Oh God. Josh stays away from politics, but I am rather right-leaning, obviously. I very centrist on a lot of things, but I'm more right-leaning than left-leaning.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
If I was in Hassan's chat, I would be banned within 5 minutes and told that I'm a debate pervert because I have a difference of opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I bring on people onto this show, regardless if we're talking about politics, life experiences, conversation about anything, that have differences of opinion that we can articulate and tell the story.
Mm-hmm.
That is more important than saying that somebody's a debate pervert and you shouldn't have the right to talk.
Well,
like, honestly, go fuck yourself.
Name calling and labeling is just a way to like dehumanize someone and to not actually hear them out. You know what I mean? You're a racist. It's like, all right, you're a scumbag piece of shit. Your opinion is validated. Instead of hearing you talk and being like, all right, is he saying racist shit? If so, then you know what I mean? Like, let fucking people talk and actually have their opinions without casting all this shit on them. It's the same thing with Sam Hyde. Maybe he is anti-Semitic and racist, right? But like, you should let him have a platform to talk. And then if he exposes himself and he does whatever, then it is what it is. But people
have that right to decide what they want to intake with their media.
Tariq Nasheed, right? He's a known like black supremacist. He should have a platform. He should be able to talk. I would love to talk to Tariq Nasheed. I would love to know why he thinks black people are better than white people, and I wouldn't get mad at him. You know what I'm saying? He could tell me that white people suck. The white devil's this. White people did that to him. That's his experience, bro. It is what it is. He's not wrong. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Like, understanding how different people perceive the world, whether it's wrong stereotypically or it's wrong in a whole, doesn't matter. It's their experience and how you perceive it and how you interact with it is how you make things better or worse. Mm-hmm. If you go through everything and just say that everything's wrong, and I dealt with this shit with my family when I came out and started supporting the 2016 election and stuff like that. It was, if you were for one side, everybody on the other side completely deleted you off Facebook, started bashing your family.
I hate that, bro. I fucking hate that so much. You can't have 50, because it's 50-50. You can't have 50% of the fucking people be vilified. Oh my God, you're a liberal, you suck. That's crazy. Oh my God, you're a Republican, you suck. It's just crazy.
Well, nobody's clever anymore. Nobody's clever anymore. We've all just evolved into ad hominem whenever we're attacking our opponent, right? Like there's nothing other than ad hominem going on and extrapolation, hyperboles, you know.
And as extremism grows, like, you know, if you're a centrist now, you're fucking right wing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like, exactly.
Every time.
People think I'm right wing, bro. I'm pro marijuana. I'm pro gay marriage. You know what I'm saying? I lean left on so many things, but everyone just thinks I'm right. They think I'm right wing because of my personality, but it's like
most of my social things are very, very left wing. All of like lifestyle and taxes and that kind of stuff, I'm right wing. Where does that fall? That falls in the center. So I have difference of opinion from everybody else. Understand that if you have a conversation with me, I'll articulate what the fuck I'm saying. And that's exactly where I'm going to go. So we were talking about race. Mm-hmm. 2015. Before this, my cousin, who is whiter than me, blonde hair, blue eyes, the most Germanic person you've ever seen in your life, has moles all over her body and everything else, started telling everybody that she only wanted to sleep with black men because she wanted a black baby, not because that was her choice. So she decided to marry a black man. Oh shit, I'm going to get shit for my family for this one. Whatever. Let's go. Let's have some fun. So she goes and has a baby, gets pregnant, gets married, everything else. Posted a meme on Facebook. I have been on welfare most of my life, lived in inner cities, been in very, very shitty situations. I am pulling myself up. You are middle class. Basic understanding. If you have questions, ask them now. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
I'm
Mhm.
Any
tracking.
questions?
Yeah.
Okay. So she's middle class, upper middle class, has lived in her own house, the same house her entire life, and absolutely ridiculous.
A lot more privileges and luxuries afforded to her than you, right?
Yes. So I posted something about my daughter being in school, and I think they were voting on who they decided they wanted as the president. And she commented, she's like, my kids will always struggle more than your kids. I'm like, no. You chose that life for them, number one, because you chose your choices in life. Not saying that they're wrong or right. I'm just saying your decision was racially motivated. And then you also have the problem of saying that just because they're half black, they're at a disadvantage to my kids that are coming up from the bottom up when you're coming up from the top up. So if this is a pyramid, where am I? And like I articulated myself, I was like, hey, that doesn't necessarily make sense considering you're telling me that my kids are always going to be more privileged than your kids when you have more money going into this.
Mm-hmm.
Just there, you're a teacher. Your husband works in the armed forces and makes hundreds of thousands of dollars a year because he's a contractor. It doesn't matter if he's an immigrant or not. Your kids will always be more privileged than my kids because of what not only have you fought for, your parents did.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm coming from the bottom, your kids are always going to be above my kids.
Well, I mean,
Not because my kids are more or less intelligent. They could be smarter than your kids by mass. But that just, it's showing, it's class problems. It's not fucking race problems.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's what they teach in schools. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say I agree or disagree with the fact that minorities will always be less privileged than white people, but they teach that in school, that if you are a part of a minority group, aka non-white, and if there's intersectionality involved, that you are way less privileged than a white person. And I'm not going to say that's right or wrong. I'm just going to say that's what they teach in school. It doesn't matter. You could be a rich black dude in a mansion. You are more privileged than a white dude living in the trailer park with no money. That's what they teach.
That speaks. Is that something that you think we should put in curriculums? Actually, probably not talk too much on it, but I mean, just even other things that they put in curriculums. There's just some stuff that, like, do you think the school system gets it right with all of their curriculum?
Well, no, they don't. They definitely don't get it right with all their curriculum, and I'm definitely not the guy to tell them the right way to do it. But yeah, I don't. That's just such a touchy subject because there's certain topics if you give an opinion on, you either give the right,
take it as hard.
You either give the right opinion that's allowed, or you become a villain and you become evil. So I mean, that's just one of those topics that's like, yeah, I mean,
it's untouchable.
It's untouchable. But no, I understand the plight. Well, I don't. They tell you that you'll never understand, but as best I can, I try to understand the plight of minorities. There's some statistics that back up some stuff, But I will say what I believe in regards to privilege more than anything. I'm not saying that racial privilege doesn't exist. 100% it does. But parental privilege, something I firmly believe in. And it's what I experienced a lot as a teacher. There were white kids in my school that had fucked up parents they'd come in with stained clothes. They wouldn't come in. They'd wear the same thing 3 days in a row. They were always getting in trouble. They were emotionally disturbed. They were crying. And then there was Asian and Latino and black kids that had good parents that were very well behaved and very, very kind. And I really do think a lot of it comes down to the parents. Not everything, but like, bro, if you have bad parents, that is a major issue. And if you have good parents, that is a huge privilege. Like the fact, so you could say I have privilege because I'm white. That's fine. I'm not going to disagree with you. But I have a major privilege because I have 2 good parents. That's a rare thing. And, that's just a huge privilege, bro. I have 2 parents willing to help me through life. That's huge.
Absolutely.
Right? If you're fucking...
But then you also have the morality of those parents. You also have the work ethic of those parents because you saw that. And like, I think I completely agree with you. Let me just say that, because I think that is also a class issue. The lower you get in 100%. Class, the lower you have in money, more likely the father isn't in the home. And I don't want to go into the socioeconomic stuff in this, so we don't have to lose viewers because
There's
of
a
that.
lot of factors.
But
Yeah.
there's a lot of correlation in a lot of those problems, and it's not just color, it's not just race. It's completely the class. You look at the lower class, a lot of them are single parents because they're either living off of the system or they've fallen on the system. And then when they fall on the system and there's only one parent, then you have less income and you have less time with your kid. That kid becomes shittier. Yes, there are outliers to that, but that doesn't mean that there isn't a generalization that you can make.
And that's where cyclical poverty comes in, because if you're a product of a single family home and you're underprivileged, odds are you're going to create a single family home and you're going to be underprivileged. So it's cyclical shit. So I really do believe that trying to work on the family structure and promoting two-parent households and stuff would be a way to help society. And I don't say all this stuff because I'm like, oh, white people aren't the problem. I'm coming from a place of like, bro, I want everyone to do good. You know what I'm saying?
Working on
exactly.
solutions, identifying them.
I want everybody. I wish everybody was as privileged as me in regards to their parents. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I will never discount that, bro. That is a huge thing. The way I grew up with parents, the way they helped me through school, the way they helped me get my first car, they helped me go to prom. That's fucking huge, bro. That's so huge. And it's something that people don't talk about, bro. Like there's black people that have two good parents that are so much more privileged than black people that don't. They have one parent, and maybe that parent's on drugs, and they're not caring for them. They're not disciplining them. They're not teaching them.
Divorce rates are over 50% in American households.
It's fucked up. And if you look at the statistics of college graduates, crime, and all of that, and you look at the single parent households, it all lines up, bro.
Yep.
It all lines up. The more you have single parent households, the more crime, the less graduation, all the way down, bro.
Yep.
And people talk about Asian privilege and shit, but Asians have some of the strongest family households in America.
Yep.
It's the same social issues that we've experienced for years. It's just this past decade we've identified it in a different, misconstrued way. I mean, it's nature versus nurture here, right?
Well, it's not even necessarily a different way. They're painting it with color instead of looking at money. When you look at a different color instead of green, then it's going to show a different way. And that doesn't necessarily mean that it's racist. When you put a color in front of it, it becomes racist.
Right.
And that's what we all learned. I don't know about you, Cowboy, because I know you're much younger than me, but I know me and Brendan were probably rather similar. We all learned the whole, when you put a color in front of something, that's racist. Don't treat it as this person's different, this person's that. Treat it as the person.
Absolutely. We had equality and like union is what we were taught in school. We did not learn that much about like white privilege or anything. I only graduated in 2018.
No, that's more nuanced, kind of.
But yeah. Like again, I just want to double down and say that like I'm not saying privileges don't exist based on race. Obviously, like it's an intrinsic thing, bro. If you look at the lunch tables in elementary schools, kids are separating by race, they're separating by gender. It's a thing that's in our nature to do. You know what I'm saying? Not that it's a good thing, but yeah, I'm sure that like fucking racial privilege definitely comes into play because if you have a community that's majority one race, they might have some intrinsic favoritism towards people of the same race. I mean, that's just I think that's a human thing. I don't think it's good. I'm just saying, I think that's natural.
I don't think that's naturally human.
Okay.
So like,
what do you think it is that teaches us to do that?
Yes. So like, if you see, okay, let me lay out my idea before I go more in depth.
Mm-hmm.
So
this is touchy shit. This is definitely this is shit that I've never talked about publicly. That's
why I would rather lay out my idea before explaining it. So if you have, say, 5 or 6 babies, mixed races, they will all play together. They will integrate with each other. And those foundations will last for life if they're continually integrated.
Okay.
Understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there is no prejudice in that circumstance because they're always been around it.
That comes from a parent.
No, not even a parent. That means that it is intrinsic, that you're not going to see the difference in what somebody is until you see the similarities of what you are, and you perceive that that's the difference in people. Mm-hmm. So like if you have me, for example, my school is 50-50. Yes, there was other races in there, but very, very little amounts. So the city school I went in was 50-50. I hung out mostly with the black people because that's who I idealized with. That doesn't mean that, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
It's more where you're from, what you're surrounded by, and stuff like that.
A
If you see
societal
it,
thing versus
if you
the
see an
nature.
entire white family and that's all you see ever, my cousin questioned, like, what's wrong with your skin? Because he lived so far out of the city that he didn't see a black person up until that point. It's not because he's racist, it's because he didn't understand. He was fucking 6 years old. If that's all you see all day, every day, then are you going to understand?
Well, it's like, yeah, when I'm in Thailand, I'm getting looks left and right because I fucking stick out like a sore thumb. I'm 6'3", big, tall, white dude. They don't, you know what I'm saying? They're looking at me crazy because they don't see that many branded Buckinghams walking around. But I don't think it's like hateful. It's just like they're not,
That's what
they're
I'm
not used to
saying.
it. Yeah.
I think it's more societal. I think it's more if you're around something specific, it gives you a baseline for what's going forward instead of understanding that everybody sort of like mingles and stuff like that. Like if you're a dude, you're kind of pushed with dudes because you have generalized ideals.
Mhm.
Whether the race or not, you're going to push towards your gender because you like football, you like video games. Whether or not girls do or not is kind of different because each person's nuanced.
Yeah, but it's funny how if you downplay racism, if you don't play it up, if you don't feed into it, it somehow gets perverted and like people think you support it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
think racism is good, but like, bro, when was the last time? I don't know. I haven't came into contact with that many people, but when was the last time you heard someone say some like really foul racist shit and it was met with like a good
Positive
reaction?
laughter and everybody's like, "Oh, that
Never.
was so funny." Yeah, no, it
Like,
doesn't happen.
because it's gross, dude. Like, I think
There's
a lot
always that.
a lot
Like
of
in
people in
high
our
school, there was
generation,
that
like,
one or two persons, but
sorry, what?
I said in high school, there's always that like one or two people that just say some ignorant, retarded shit.
For the
But yeah,
reaction.
In my experience, where I grew up in the high school I grew up, like that was never celebrated. Like nobody
No,
fucked
it's
with
not.
that. It was frowned upon. Like you're being a dick. You're being mean.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So that was just how I grew up. Maybe I'm sure there's places that in America where there's a ton of fucking mean ass racist white people, and there probably isn't a lot of black people around because if there was, they probably would, like you're saying, Zach, they probably wouldn't have that feeling because they would be around them. They see that we're all humans. They would start to have conversations and have connections. That's one of the big reasons I think it's good to go to towns like Harrison, Arkansas, and talk to people with Jadon, right?
That's why you see it even in that situation. Like that guy was like, yeah, I'm a white separatist. Yes, he's racist. Don't get it twisted. But he was afraid of intermingling and things combining, which
Mhm.
shows you what? The
His
exact point that I
reason.
said. He was only white and around whites his entire life. So
Mhm.
now he's afraid of the other.
Or they don't even have internet connection around there because the internet is a tool against racism because it connects people. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like-
That's my point. Is like if you're connected from the beginning, you're never going to be disconnected.
I feel that for sure. But so do you think that for human, this is just a question, there's not a right or wrong answer,
you're
but
good.
do you think for humans it is better for us as a whole in America to intermingle more for the growth of society and everything?
Maybe to an extent because that would kind of eradicate the whole like color boundary if we did intermingle enough, and that could be technically a solution to the problem. But I think the bigger solution, I mean, in a perfect world, would be just, yeah, I mean, we intermingle, but we intermingle at the same rate that we would not intermingle. It's not even a factor. It's that whole like it doesn't get racial until you put a color in front of it. As long as you don't see color, then
Who or WH whatever who I think with the dog fucking thing in the comments. He's saying that in school saying racist shit was funny as hell and not at all hateful, and it still is in a lot of cases. Yeah, a lot of comedy it revolves around racism and stereotypes, doesn't it?
yeah, there's a majority of it. Yeah,
And if you look at a lot of comedy nowadays, like in the LA scene, I've been to a bunch of shows in LA, bro. A lot of people only feel comfortable making fun of white people.
Yep.
Because it's dangerous to make fun of minority groups at this point because you could be painted as a fucking horrible person.
Yep.
So
lose your career.
Even if it's not a hateful thing, right? But it's hard. But yeah, the reason I asked that intermingling question is because that's the
ADHD
reason.
question. Restate the question so that way I can answer it.
I'll ask that in 1 second. But the reason I brought up the intermingling thing is because that's why they have stuff like minority scholarships and affirmative action. It's very controversial, but I see why they put it in place, right? I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but I see the thought behind it. But
Absolutely.
at the same time, is it good? I don't know. All right, ADHD question. What? Just asking if I have it, Zach?
Just no. Restate what you said. I spaced out completely and forgot what you said.
The question I
Yes.
answered about
I
intermingling,
had a
that would be
complete
the
thought and
answer.
answer to it,
Oh, the
and I
intermingling thing.
completely lost.
Oh, sorry.
Your
Oh, yeah. So
question.
it wasn't about ADHD. I was asking you because, as you said, growing up around different races makes you inherently less racist because you get to grow up with them and see that we're all people. Do you think it is beneficial for American society to kind of implement and promote intermingling with the races?
Okay, so
AKA affirmative action and things of that nature that are put in place to
Absolutely,
incentivize intermingling.
absolutely. So first off, I was saying my ADHD, not yours. I completely spaced after I had the answer to your question. I was like, okay, I got this. And then I lost the entire question and the context that I had. So the hard part is we're supposed to be a melting pot. Like what the United States is supposed to be was always a melting pot of everybody kind of bringing their best and kind of conjoining and congealing into making an American ideology. That's what it was always stated to me. It could be different or perceived different in many different ways.
Yeah.
But how I see it now as an adult is it's become a salad bowl where everything's kind of different, everything's kind of offset, nothing really mixes. You have all of the races kind of say that they're not necessarily superior, but they could be downed in this way. This one could be downed in that way. Instead of coming together and saying, hey, we're one people, the human people, and they're trying to separate us. They're trying to separate us. Stop looking at everybody negatively. That person that you interacted with of this person or that person is the negative person. I think that's where the problem of the entire situation is like, we don't bring over Chinese and Italian food and Chinese people and like make everything fucking awesome. We kind of just like, they go make Chinatown or Little Italy and they live off on their own and they kind of just stay within that circle. They don't add themselves and congeal themselves to us, and we don't congeal themselves to them. And it kind of like fucks with everything.
Yeah. Well, as Cloudy454 saying in the comments, reconciling different cultures is more difficult than you think. It's very true.
That's why a lot of people on the right say, you know, look at Scandinavian countries that are so homogeneous that they're all very, very tall, ethnically white, ethnically Germanic, and look at their happiness rates and stuff like that. Like it's a very, very interesting kind of thought-provoking ideal to come across.
No, definitely. But yeah, stuff like that, like a lot of it is just hard to talk about because people will be very quick to label and write you off. You know what I'm saying?
No, but this super in-depth conversation does more to aid the situation than anybody ever would.
No, absolutely.
Honestly,
the only way you can deal with any problems is communication, even though it's the root of most of them as well. It's the funniest fucking thing.
Yeah, and the way I operate, like, you know, I know I don't come from a place of hate, and I'm very accepting to all people. But if I do come across a supremacist, you know what I'm saying? I've talked to the black Israelites,
Hebrew Israelites.
Yeah. I don't have a problem with them fucking hating white people, bro. It's their decision. You know what I mean? I'm gonna operate how I operate. I'm still gonna treat them like I would treat you. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna try to tell them they're wrong, but I'm gonna talk to them. I'm not gonna agree with them, but I'm gonna talk to them. You know what I mean?
I just say it this way: it's like I don't care who you hate, as long as you don't hate me individually, I'm fine. Like as long as you don't treat me as like I'm less than you or a piece of shit because of your specific ideology or thought-provoking thought. That's what matters. It's like, treat me like a person, I'm going to treat you like a person. If we have a problem, then we're going to have a problem. And it's exactly that. So I do have a video that we can watch. Or we can go into Zach's story time like I have been going into every episode. Whatever one you guys want to do.
Let's hear the video. I'm curious.
Okay. So it's going to be 2 seconds because I got to move around the layout and add a video.
Brandon, do you think that there's a way to make furries a more accepted thing?
I've seen this video. Is there a way to make furries a more accepted thing?
Yeah, I mean, you have a little bit of experience with the con. I mean, you've met some of them.
So yeah, I felt there's a warning in the beginning of my video to not be judgmental towards the furries, because yeah, I had a good interaction with the furries. The way I feel like, how do we get them more accepted is for someone to go to a furry convention and talk to them.
Yeah, to normalize it.
Hell
right?
yeah.
And there's some fucked up shit going on in the furry conventions, zoophilia, whatever, because it's extreme. Everywhere you look, bro, it's funny. Like everywhere you look, there's going to be extremist groups that make things fucked up. When I went to the furry thing, they were like, bro, we're not all weird sex freak people.
Majority of them are just some cool people that have a cool hobby.
Yeah, they like anamorphic, anthropomorphic things. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
Furries are interesting. There's definitely some fucked up shit going on there. There's definitely a lot of people that have a community and they found their friends through being a furry. So there's good and bad for sure.
it is interesting, and I only brought that up. This is crazy. This is fucking crazy.
I hit enter with my thumb. I apologize. I did not mean to do that.
I love this video.
It is really good.
Let's go into this because this shit is fucking great.
That's what your bitch ass get. Hoe ass nigga. I knew you been stealing my shit. Broke ass nigga. Yeah. Broke ass nigga. That's what your bitch ass get. And the laws on the way.
Some shit on my chest.
Dirty ass nigga.
I wasn't trying to
Fuck you
steal
want,
it.
nigga. Bitch, what you call
They on the
it,
way.
nigga? Yeah, they on the way.
I went
Laws on the way,
out
nigga.
I'm from next
Ass
door.
off
I'm
with
from
your
next
bitch
door. I
ass
wasn't
son.
trying to steal no package, bro.
He takes them
God
out.
What the fuck
damn.
you call it then,
What's in
nigga?
that bitch? Cell phone?
Nah, bitch ass nigga, booby trap, nigga. Ask military.
That shit is fucking fantastic.
I love the caught in
Yeah,
4K and then the still like, I wasn't trying to steal your shit. Look, here's my face. I live next door. That's
How
funny.
Helping you out.
How the fuck does that work? I'm from next door. Why are you touching my shit still?
Why are you on my fucking porch, dude, with a mask on?
He's discombobulated, dude. That's fucking insane. That's vigilantism at its best.
Yeah, someone said Mark Rober really stepped it up this time.
The fact that he reaches his hand in his ass and is like, what the fuck came out of me is the most hilarious fucking thing in the world. So I remember in like 8th grade, everybody always had like this idea if they got into a fist fight that they would finger their asshole and give somebody a mustache with their shit.
Oh God.
And
I had never heard that one before.
I didn't understand it. I was like, yeah, I could understand where you would be disgusted afterwards. But if I'm filled with adrenaline and you shove a finger up your ass, you're probably going to get knocked out before you get your finger out of your ass.
That's a fact, yeah. Your guards.
Like if you drop a hand behind your back, I promise you're going to be sleeping.
Yeah.
Imagine getting knocked out with a finger up your asshole. That's a bad time.
Might be better than getting knocked out without one up there.
That's true, yeah.
Oh,
Maybe you
shit.
come
Well,
too
then-
quicker.
Then you could come at the same time. It would be perfect.
Facts.
So-
No, that video was awesome, and that's so funny. I mean, just the fact that the guy's there talking to him, walking him through what he's gonna do. Like the cops are fucking coming, you're fucked now. That's a booby trap.
So you guys can feel free to choose one of these numbers, and I will tell the story correlated with it. A few of them have been done. It is in the private chat, but obviously I will tell whatever story you guys choose.
Oh, it's in the docs thing.
Yes.
All right, let me click that.
There are some bangers in here.
Oh,
Yeah.
Let me show you, Brandon.
All of these stories have happened to me, and all of them are nice and fun and fucked up. So I'll give you guys 2 or 3 seconds to go over this, and we'll tell it.
All right. What's your pick, Cowboy?
I like 14 and I like 16. What are you?
What about I'm looking. 10 is really shining in my eyes.
Actually, yeah, no, I need to hear about that. That sounds
how
like it
does-
would come with some sort of reprimand.
Yeah.
Orthodontics in children. What's going on?
Okay, so the title of the story, or whatever the fuck I decided to write down for my ADHD remembrance, is biting the shit out of my landlord's kid and fighting for my life. So once again, this guy was bigger than me. He was my same age, but this family was the landlord of my building. And this is when I moved to the projects of my city. So I moved from the outlying part of the city where this apartment complex was, the place that I told you about before. And we moved directly right next to the government housing and everything else. So like direct center of the city. And the person that owned this location was the landlord, obviously, and she had 2 kids. Her husband just recently passed away, probably like 2 or 3 years beforehand, and she allowed her kids to kind of let themselves go completely. Like the older one was about 2-3 years older than me, and she was about 5 foot flat, maybe 4'9", somewhere in there, and about 450. She literally looked like Grimace from McDonald's. If you pushed her down a hill, she would have rolled. Her son was a little bit more muscular, but looked not necessarily like an Oompa Loompa, but looked like a Thum from
Spy Kids.
Spy Kids.
Yep.
So just like very floppy, very blobby, and kind of just Patrick Star shaped. And they were renting out this building in the center of my town. So as things went on, before things got bad, we became friends with this family. We interacted with them a lot. We would share dinner with them. The mom ended up turning my parents into chain smoking idiots that would smoke 3-4 packs in just the 3 hours, 2-3 packs of cigarettes in just the 2 or 3 hours that we were there to eat dinner and stuff like that. And they had a trampoline outside. So still loved wrestling, fucking around, kind of. You just get in wrestling moods as boys.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a smaller kid. I'm taller, but I'm skinnier. This kid failed once. He was supposed to be in my grade. I didn't know this kid. That's how big my school was. Is like we lived in the same city, but I didn't know this kid before him becoming my landlord's kid. And we fucked around and like wrestled a shit ton on the trampoline. And one time I did a swanton bomb on him, and he didn't like the way that I did it. And I like shouldered him like across the nose, and it like fucked up his jaw a little bit. And he came up and swung at me. This point, I'm already kind of like infused city. So like I just respond to things with my fists because, as you see, I've seen fighting and done fighting already. So he misses because he's a fat kid and very uncoordinated. And I come across and hit him right in the fucking nose. Break his fucking nose.
Oh shit.
With the first hit. Not bleeding, but like it's fucking crooked. You see it. So he trips me and gets me into a camel clutch. If you know what a camel clutch is, it's like you're sitting in the center of their back with their arms across your knees, and you're pulling back on their neck.
Jesus.
But he had his arm wrapped underneath my chin instead of like his hands. So he's like full arm pulling my neck back, and like a neck crank in MMA.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't have it fully cranked to where his elbow was underneath my chin. So his arm was completely open to my mouth.
Like cross facing you.
Yep. I bit the fuck out of his arm.
Mike Tyson is shit.
As hard as I... Funny thing, I'll go into that in a second. I bit a chunk out of his fucking arm.
That's what I was waiting for. That's the part. Yeah, you got to.
That's horrible.
So as I spit it at him, he looked down and then looked up at me really fucking confused. And I haymaker the fuck out of him. Cross him right in the bridge of his nose. And it starts pouring fucking blood. And just cross him as hard as I fucking could. He runs up the stairs, bawling his fucking eyes out to his mom, and I get yelled at.
How did you not creep that shit right there? Whenever you hit him in the nose the second time and he's bleeding, like, I don't know. As a kid, I would probably be knocked the fuck out.
Oh, he was bawling his fucking eyes out.
Sounds like a pussy.
Funny thing is, Mike Tyson trained in my home city. Real shit's been talked, boys. We'll see you fucking next time.